making a lot of background noise. Last time I was with
I
There's
can
like
hear it.
a
Like a
hum coming out of
ringing.
your mouth, Mike.
I wish I knew why. Can you hear me any better though? I just turned myself
Oh
off.
yeah, much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you
Okay.
have a small harmonica stored in your mouth.
And I have no idea why. I apologize. I've actually got a pretty nice headset.
Me and my $20 Amazon cheapies have just been great because it's what I use on the podcast. It's what I'm using now. And
All right, we are live again, I believe.
All
okay.
right.
Hopefully, I'm not quite as far behind, or else this is going to be really difficult. All right. So where to begin? Um. Okay. Well, Jay Black made mention of how many keys I have. What's the best way to actually use the keys? First of all, like I know
Okay.
guild keys. We want to wait until we collect a bunch of seals.
Oh, so apparently you're not showing on Mixer. I'll need to switch over there. Okay, so to
You're not
answer
showing on
Jay,
Twitch either.
so to answer,
Reload the streams because I just had to
okay,
cancel and bring it back up. Then
Yeah, it
gotcha.
says the
hopefully that'll
video
work.
was canceled. Try again. I've tried it a couple times.
Man.
I can try a mixer too, see if anything's there. A pain in the butt.
I
I
know
mean, I
we are.
see
Yeah,
Mixer.
it worked.
I just see your screen with all the chests and keys. That seems to be what you were
All right,
talking about.
so mixer is working, huh? Okay.
Seems to be.
Let's switch over to mixer then.
That's where I'm
Restream
trying to
bot's
switch
having a
to
pain
as
in the
well.
butt.
Okay, so to answer Jay Black's question, so Kenny, you're right. You want to wait till your guild gets to a decent tier, so I'd probably hold off till Sunday when they're going to be at their highest, because the guild week resets on Mondays. That's the start of the week. The other caveat is there's a new month, so I personally save my glory and gem keys for that time, and that's when I will drop those. I'll use those at
Just
those
because that new
periods.
thing will be there. Okay.
Yes, there's a higher chance of getting that. So I wait to use my
Which day
glory
was that?
and
Friday?
the first Friday of each month.
Okay.
And when you sign in, it'll say, "Hey, new mythic troop," and
So is that stupid dynamite goat? Or is that
Okay.
no,
something
that's the
different?
one from the glory rewards that you can purchase.
Dang it! So I
Um,
should have used all these last week.
You'll
uh,
have another week.
so, and then the other one, so the kingdom keys, you guys are all new, so they're not bad to use up whenever you want to. But
The what keys?
The kingdom
the
keys.
kingdom keys,
Gold
the
keys?
green
Or-
one,
Oh, the event
or
keys.
event keys.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I usually, when I find the new kingdom for the weekend, I'll filter and look for cards that I don't have in that kingdom. So, like, either if I have a lot or there's a card I really want, or I'm sorry, if I have a lot missing or there's a card I really want, I'll use my keys on that
How
week.
would you know if you're
okay.
missing something? Do you compare it to like a database or something?
So I applied on the search on the troops
Oh, you look
screen.
at cards I don't have type of thing?
Yeah, you can filter
Instead?
for the kingdom, and then I filter for cards I don't have.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't know if I've ever used that filter. That's a good idea.
I did not know
Yeah,
that was
so
a
I
filter.
So I do that at the beginning of each week and see. So like for this week, I filtered and I'm not missing any cards from that kingdom. So I'm gonna wait to use my keys until there's new cards I could open.
Oh, unknown to
Oh,
train in
look.
front
I
of my
still
face.
need King Gob Truffle. Jerk.
Oh, he is so good. He is so good. He is my boy.
Now,
And yeah,
do
he's
you
part
use
of a
that?
really good explorers team. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I was going to ask more about that Explorer team because it's not just about the troops that you have in your team. It's also about the order in which you have those troops and the traits that you have for the troop. So, could you speak a little bit to maybe starting with like trading the troop and upgrading them and effective ways to do that?
Okay, so I guess to start off, since most of the listeners are new to this,
And the streamer.
Finding so picking good teams early on, like building the skeleton team, which is easy for the skeleton key team, which is easy for newer people to eventually cobble together. The basic explorer team, which I think a lot of people brought up in our gems chat today, which consists of the Firebird. For newer people that don't have Forest Guardian, they can use Rowan, and then the Fire Bombs. And if you have the Prismatic Orb, you can use that as well. So I guess
here's a question for me. Why would you use one of those in the 4th spot and not use just 2 fire bombs?
again, that comes down to personal preference. I have just used it has a little bit more when you have the 2 fire bombs, you're a little bit short-lived, like as in once they're gone you only have 2 troops left, so if you want to tackle something that's a little bit more tough, you're gonna need that other weapon.
So it works for the easiest of the easy, but if you're going for anything like a little bit more difficult, like maybe a daily adventure board,
Yes.
you might want to.
I use the Force Guardian one for my adventure board, and I can do all of them except for the ones that are like extreme or like
I can't do
like
basically the
crazy
52s
challenging.
and the 96s. I can't do those with that. But anything that's 1,000 or 2,000, I can usually do.
Oh yeah, and I don't feel like switching through the team, so I just I can still defeat them in 2 turns with the setup that I run. So to circle back to Michelle's question, is early on you just want to find a really good team that works for you, invest your souls in getting them, leveling them up, and then doing the explore battles to get their traits. So early on, you want to get that good explore team that we had talked about. Hey, Awu is with us.
Now we get to
Hello,
hear what he
Owl.
sounds like.
Hello.
Yeah, but you gotta keep L from watching this because he can't hear.
Welcome. We are glad to be in the honor of your gems wisdom.
Oh, thank you. It's not rare that I get to be like the guru because like there are so many people just like in my guild and stuff that are just way better than me. Normally, I'm not
Oh, you're
Yeah, I was
definitely
gonna
the
say
guru
the
in
same
this
thing.
company.
go-to person.
Kenny Mixer can't see the game. I hope
I-
whatever you're enjoying for food is delicious. But
He's
Sorry.
on his
I just see
phone.
And he's on a short break again.
Hold on, I just swapped it back. Sorry.
I was just going to ask though that maybe it might be useful for people watching who may be like very new to this, because we know we have some very new players, to just actually like look at the troop and kind of explain what all those different things mean, like the different skills and all, just what they are. There's a lot of information to
Yeah.
unpack when you're starting, so maybe just starting with what that looks like is going to be helpful for people, because we often use terms like fully trading and
Yeah,
use your gems, which is
there's-
different from diamonds.
there's
so
a lot of stuff we
yeah.
take for granted at high levels that aren't exactly like the most self-explanatory. Like when we talk about the magic stat, for example, a new player isn't necessarily going to know what that means. Like,
Right. So maybe if you could pull up like
even though it's a
either
very important thing.
your hero or one of the troops, and Awu and Sarah can kind of take the lead on explaining the different elements of that card, of that troop, of that weapon, whatever it may be.
Okay. Well, here's my team that I've been using. I guess I'll bring up this guy. Upgrade and traits.
Stream is so far behind.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the stream. Like I said, if anyone's new, I'm having all kinds of
Okay,
issues tonight.
There it goes.
It's like pouring, and it's like thunderstorming, so maybe that's doing it. I don't know.
There, I was able to get another 800 seals, so we're up to 17-2 now.
Woohoo!
Wow, you
Oh,
guys!
there we go.
I'm impressed. Like I
might get
leave the
there.
guild and you guys get better.
We're trying to re-recruit you. Like we're honestly making a push for this.
Well, it's been on the podcast a couple times, and it's also been talked about quite a bit, so we're all of a sudden starting to get some attention from some of the people that haven't played for a while. It's kinda
Yeah,
cool.
I think. Yeah, and doing these, a lot of people have commented that it was very helpful for them. They understand the game a lot more, and like, yeah, I think it's definitely helped stir some activity for the AH 101 guild. You guys have been
Yeah.
killing it.
Trying to wake up.
Oh yeah.
We'll get there.
All right.
It's a process.
Did you want to pull up a card, Kenny, and we can walk our way through that?
Sure.
That sounds terrific. Because what's great about having, especially, I know you were being very, you're not the expert when people will ask you and all that, but what's great about having lots of levels in, there are just so many nuances that I know we miss and you are very aware of. So you just pull all this apart as you see fit.
And sometimes a
Right,
newbie looks at some
definitely.
of these cards and goes, how the hell is that ever going to help me?
Right.
And then once you realize how to
Yeah.
put something together, and then you're like, oh,
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh, I
A lot
see.
of cards
yeah.
in isolation don't look that good, but they have combinations with other cards that make them very useful.
Egg thief.
Mhm. Yep.
Which goes for like almost all mythics, honestly. Like you get a good mythic that's not really gonna matter unless you have like the team to surround it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my only mythic.
Yeah, Undyne. I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be mean to Undyne, but it's not exactly
can
the best
scoff
mythic
it.
in the game.
You can scoff at Kenny. It's okay.
But explain
Seriously,
why
that's the
it's
only
not
No.
the.
mythic you have?
No, I don't have this mythic, so I'm not gonna.
Woo.
I
bully
don't
you at
have it
all.
either,
Oh.
actually.
I'm winning in two spots.
Ooh,
But
Kenny,
it's
you
not
have-
one that's used. It's not one that's used in any current meta teams, but you never know. That changes a lot, honestly. Like
It's working
with
for
what
me
new
right
troops
now.
come out.
Yeah, it's, my husband is
Yeah.
jealous because I have a possessed king, and he has been trying his darndest to get one.
Oh. Yeah, that is a very important one. Question a little bit. It used to be better than it is now.
Yeah, he just wants it for his delve teams.
Oh yeah, no. Possessed
this
King
is-
or like Vashtagon, you need one of those too.
And this is
And I-
exactly why it's so hard to discuss gems, because as soon as you start to discuss one point, like 100
Yeah,
other.
no, it's very easy to
Yes.
get trailed,
Yeah.
get sidetracked.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's
which
so
is
easy.
why
it's
I
also-
think. Sorry, go ahead. I will.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's also very like talking to new players. Orbs, for example, it's always like, oh, don't use your orbs because 3,000 hours from now you want to craft Zulgoth. It's like,
You.
Yeah.
We have.
What
the
was that you just
card
said? You
up.
just cut out on for me.
Yeah, I was just talking about using. Hold on to them. They said ask before you use them. So
And
yeah,
I didn't. It was very tempting, but I didn't. I was good. I held on to it. But let's move away from orbs. We've got
Yep.
this Undyne troop up.
Right.
So there's a lot of information even in this one thing. So
yeah, no, this he's got a pretty complicated spell at 1st
Mhm.
glance. It's got a lot of
Mhm.
text to
But
it.
yeah, I was just gonna start from like the top left corner, just even explaining,
Yeah.
the 20 and the colors, and I mean, you want us to cut down that deep, right?
yeah, I mean, I know for sure we have at least one person who literally started gems this week.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Hi,
and
Def.
like I said, there's but there's also just so much information. Even players that consider themselves more advanced or more knowledgeable may be missing some of these finer points.
Right.
Like I just got a hang of like looking at divine merfolk as way to build teams based on teams having the same kind of troop type. So even things like that, as much as I've played, like that kind of just clicked with me. So feel free to go through it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. See, that's actually how I built the team that I'm using. I started with this. I
Yeah.
figured, hey, he's my mythic. He's probably my best one. And then I noticed on the left how it says like Lord of Seas. It's like, oh, so if I have multiple merfolk or multiple of the same type, I get bonuses. So what else works with this guy?
Yeah, you do get bonuses, specific troop types and specific kingdoms, but honestly, that's sort of also a bit of a newbie pitfall because it's not as important as just
Mhm.
having a good team synergy in general. Like, if
Right.
you have a lot of pets, they increase those bonuses, but even then, it's only going to be a few like stat points here and there. So it's not unless your troop uses like, oh, its spell good does more damage based on how many allies you have of a certain type. Like that kind of stuff is important, but this isn't one of those troops, so it's not really that big of a deal.
But it does help to some degree. I mean, they're in like levels under 200 at this point.
Right.
Yeah, no, of course. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously you use what you have. You shouldn't like.
Yeah.
So Sarah, you're going
Um,
to start just working from the top left and kind of going over what elements are important to note here. So you definitely go ahead
Okay.
and start with that.
Oh, no problem. So the circle, takes 20 mana to spell. As you can, it takes if Kenny goes over to the left one, it takes 20 mana to cast a spell, which is that you're seeing there the deal 15 to. I can't read all of that text on the left. That is the spell that will be cast. It takes red, blue, and green mana, so any combinations of those will power him up. Then in the top right corner is his level. Obviously, the higher the level, the higher the stats you get for your card. The max level is 20, and it has to be a mythic to get to 20. Would you have anything to add to those so far?
No, that's all pretty, pretty
Well,
basic.
let me just suggest real quick then. So levels are capped by the rarity of the card that you have. So if you've played, especially if you're an early level player, white, green, blue, maybe purple, those troops can be level 20. Correct?
That is
They have to
correct.
be.
The max for purple is 17.
I think
Or is it
it's
18?
orange is
18.
Yeah,
19,
it's
purple is
18.
18.
Yep, yeah, because
Yeah.
yellow is 19 and
Man,
mythic is 20.
man, you guys are cutting it.
And then obviously the troops' names, and they're in the center. There is the kingdom that it is from, which is Merlantis. And the 17 there is the damage that it does when you match 3 skulls. And this is where I might need your knowledge a little bit more. I always see the armor and health, but I don't remember which way, which like it works, of how it gets knocked down.
What do you mean?
So, like, just say it gets hit by a skull, it removes its armor first, correct? Unless it does true
Right,
damage.
yeah.
Okay. Which we won't
Right.
overly complicate with true damage. Sorry.
Now, can you explain, as you can see on Kenny's card here, there's those numbers are green. What does that indicate when the number is green instead of its typical
Yeah,
color?
that just means it's boosted by something. So if you look at the left, you can see he has there's a few things cycling in and out on the left. Those are his current stat bonuses. So those are affected by stuff like kingdom bonus, like how many troops of the same kingdom you're currently using, and your medals and such things. So as long as there's any kind of boost going on, your numbers will
And
be
if
green.
they're
What does it look like?
completed tasks, those would be reflected there as well.
I think so. Yeah, if they're relevant, yeah.
Did not know that. That's helpful.
So what if we tab over to the right, if you just press right so we could see the traits.
Yep. It'll pop
What
up
are
in
those
15
all about
seconds.
then?
But as a preview on the card, you can see it only has one little light there that's showing it has its first trait. When you see the others with the second symbol up here, that means it's got the 2, and then if it shows a 3 on the picture, it's fully traded. And when we refer to fully traded, it means it obviously has all 3 of its traits.
And how would somebody go about adding traits to these troops?
So you have to use what is in the game called trait stones.
Kenny will
So
eventually hit Y, and you'll see
Yes.
the next
It's
screen you
coming.
have to go into. it's coming up, I promise.
So that is what he would need. So he's missing the green and blue, and then the blue and red stones for his middle one. And the way to earn those is by doing the explore battles, so that you can earn from doing the explore battles.
And also to know about the trade stones, I can't just go unlock the third one. I have to unlock the first two first. So technically, in order for me to get the Title King one, what it's shown that's missing is in total. It's not like I need 3 more of the green and blue ones to unlock Mana Shield, and then another 15 for Title King. I technically need 15 to get both of them.
Yeah, the last
Yeah,
one shows the total of everything.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the same. I know this came up in the last video with weapon upgrades. But
Right.
the final tier like shows.
Additive.
Right. Does all the math
Yeah.
for you.
Exactly.
Thank goodness. I don't want to do
No
math
doubt.
after a long day of work.
When I first started doing this, I didn't know it was like that. I'm just looking at that list going, oh
Mhm.
my God.
Right? Yeah, same here. I'm like, I only have 6. I only have 2 of those things, and here I need another. I need like 30 of them. Oh my god, I'll never get these.
Yeah, no, this is a mythic troop though, we should mention, so obviously these numbers are a lot higher than you would need for
Oh yes.
any lower tier troop to
Well, yeah, it's a very deep game. So as another point of clarification, when we talk about a mythic troop in this case, we're talking about its base rarity. So every troop you get has a base rarity that it comes to you as. But common troops are common, and you can get a lot of them, and then you can use all the multiples you have of that card to eventually ascend it to mythic. But all those trait stones are based on their base rarity, which is where they come to at, correct? Okay.
Yeah, so
Yep,
if you have
and-
like something that's a common to begin with, it can be pretty cheap to upgrade to that third one, believe it or not, even if you had ascended it to mythic.
hmm
You know.
I was going to add, so if you're looking for to figure out which kingdom you need to explore for a specific trait stone, if you go to your inventory, which is clicking on yourself on the main screen, you can look for the trait stone. Oh, sorry. Is that what you're looking for, Kenny?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna
Oh,
do
you-
something else, but I'm in inventory now.
You can do this straight from the trait upgrade menu and see where it's from.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize I still had that there.
Learning
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Also, show us both ways to get there, so we know the options.
Yep. So the way I've been doing it, apparently I've been doing it the slow, bad way. Is going to your inventory and looking for the one that you need, and then scrolling down and looking which one, and then you select it. It'll tell you which kingdom that it's in.
That is so helpful. I did not know that.
Yeah, I've always been just going to the database and going, all right, what do I need here? So that is helpful.
Wow.
And so now, how would you get there? Also from the trait screen when you're in the card itself.
Yeah, so if you go back to look at your troop again.
Yeah, I believe you can click on that, Kenny, to take you directly to that kingdom.
That's helpful.
Oh yeah, you can.
All right. 10 seconds. Then I'll be there. I really hate that this is so slow. This is driving me nuts. And I don't know
Last
how
one.
to fix it.
Really, really good.
Yes, I do love Kenny's war corgi.
I use the same one for my cosmetic pet.
I use the ninja kitten.
Hey, thanks to your
I-
help, I actually have some pets now.
There
Yeah,
you
so
go.
if you highlight one of these and you hit down on the D-pad, I think it is, it will
Oh, wow.
give you.
Yeah, see, I
We'll
did
all
not
see
know
what
that.
he's
That is
responding
next
to 10
level.
seconds from
Oh, wow. That's so
Kenny-
nice.
Wait, you did
Kenny,
what?
there
I
is
haven't seen
a
it yet.
question from the chat specifically for you.
What's,
They want to know what the name of your corgi is, and is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy, and his name is Akamaru.
Wow, you had an answer. I'm impressed.
I will give bonus points to anyone that knows what that is from.
Little Naruto reference.
I actually missed the name of the
Yeah.
dog because Thomas was shouting things.
I'll say I know Awu will get it.
Obviously.
I could just look at your profile picture and go, "Oh yeah, he'll understand."
But that's not a corgi.
Wow, but that is so nice.
Well,
okay.
When-
This doesn't look like one.
remember correctly, when they launched the earlier ones, you could power up.
It
or
yeah,
have-
it is a bit of a legacy pet. I think. I
yeah.
don't think you can. I think it's an event pet that you can't get anymore.
Right, and
I
it
think-
doesn't actually offer you any bonuses.
No,
So,
most of the one-time event pets don't have any bonuses just because they're so limited. They don't want people to like
mhm.
miss out if they miss a pet.
That makes sense.
Although they do still add to your total pet mastery though, but that's a bit overkill. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Fug is an expert on pets now.
What?
Oh, really?
I said Fug
I
is
have a
an
couple.
That's what I mean. You finally got some.
I know it took forever.
Going back to where we first kind of started, you were talking about King Mushroom Head, whatever his name was.
King Gob Truffle.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's
Mushroom
not talk
head.
about mushroom heads.
I like had his name and then forgot. I'm like begins with a G, but I don't want to say something stupid, so Mushroom Head works. So I'm assuming since he's a good Delve team troop, I think you said, it would be worth me using my event keys to try to get him since he's in the Zajan.
No, you'll fall into the same issue as Expovos had earlier. You cannot pull faction troops from the event keys.
Come from the
talking-
portal, right?
Right.
Yes, you have to pull
Oh,
it.
he's not.
from the
He's
game.
talking about.
Oh, is he talking
the
about Iron
mythic.
Gut? Oh,
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
okay,
He's talking about
okay.
King
yeah,
Iron
yeah,
Gut.
no, Iron Gut
Oh, okay.
is definitely a good week to use the event keys because Iron Gut, I know you were talking about this before I joined, he's definitely, probably my favorite mythic in the whole game.
That's what I said. He's my boy. I love that guy.
He's pretty useless outside of Delves, but in Delves he is just irreplaceable really for a lot of them.
Wait, King Gob Truffle?
No,
Iron
No,
Gut.
Hiking Iron Gut.
What is
Oh,
what
okay.
is his main skill that makes him fantastic in the delve?
He eats
Well,
everything.
Yeah, you would have to explain a few more
Oh, sorry.
mechanics for that.
That is actually the incorrect one. It's High King Iron Gut.
Oh.
Now, is there any other way to obtain him, or it's just? Okay, hold on. I need to take my question back for a second. So once again, we're talking about event keys, and event keys
Yes.
will give you basically limit the pool of potential troops you can draw.
Yes.
So instead
Yes.
of drawing from all 300 plus available troops, it's going to draw just from those troops in those kingdoms, which obviously lends to a higher probability of getting mythic. But in my experience, the game has really terrible RNG for you ever drawing a mythic.
Absolutely.
Are there
Yep.
any other ways to get troops like this, or it's just straight? You just gotta hope that it works out for you.
You can get mythics
Patience.
from 3 major sources. Well, if we don't include like paying real money here,
Right? No,
three
we would never
three
consider that.
in-game sources. Either pulling them from chests, any kind of chest except gold key chests because those don't have mythics. You can craft mythics in the Soul Forge, but that's very expensive. It's very like kind of end game thing. And you can also get mythics from legendary guild tasks, but that's also extremely rare.
That is actually how I
We
got
go-
my our High King Iron Gut.
Oh, yeah, we got one this week, but it was one I already had.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I used all my
but that's
faction
very
keys
rare.
this. I
Alright.
used all my keys this week, and I didn't get squat.
All right, well,
Yeah, I
let's
didn't get
let's
No.
use the
a
event
single
keys
mythic.
and see what I
usually
can pull.
don't get anything.
Yeah.
Like, you should never expect anything in this game
Okay,
in regards
so-
to RNG.
Kenny, that troop you're looking at right now, you can only get by using shards and opening it in that Amethyrax kingdom in the underworld.
You're talking about King Gob Truffle.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so how do you know if it's a troop that you can only get through what'd you call it, a faction troop?
Yes.
Well, if you look at the card, it will say what kingdom they're from, and if it says like, well, on that troop it will say Zaijin / Amanithrax. If it says 2 kingdoms like that on a card, that means they're a faction troop
Oh, okay.
because each
That's
faction is like a sub kingdom of a normal kingdom.
And their trait usually
Yeah,
refers
they'll
to a
usually have
delve.
something about delves in their traits as well.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense.
But that's something you'll just kind of learn to know which troops are faction troops eventually. It's
Okay, that makes sense. So then when I scroll back over here to High King, I see it just as Zajan, so I have somewhat of a chance of getting him if I were to do if I were to use the
You
event
could pull
keys.
him with your 10 event keys right now if you were extremely lucky. Yeah.
Let's go for it. Let's see.
All right, let's roll the dice.
We'll know it in a couple minutes.
Yeah, Kenny, you can't respond at all. You have to be completely silent as you draw your troops
Okay.
until
And
we
then we
see
could-
them. So, is it ever worth it to spend? Let me start again. So, for each type of key, there's a resource you can spend to get that key. So, I think on glory keys, you can spend glory, and
Well,
on
glory,
gem
yeah.
keys, you can spend gems, and on gold keys, you can spend gold. Is it ever worth it to use your resources on
No.
those gems?
No, definitely
Glory
Keys.
sometimes, maybe, but never gems, I would say.
Okay.
I was just about to ask that.
Especially, well,
I-
it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you could get something, but you don't want to fall into that trap of like getting used to spending gems on stuff, or not getting what you want and just keep spending more until you get what you want. You know, these like addictive kind of problems.
I have a
So-
question that's not.
And there's so much else to spend your gems on. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a question that's not really related to that. I saw a daily deal the other day where you spend 200 gems and you get like 3 of 6 different major
you got a
trade
legendary,
stones.
nice.
Like
Yeah.
6 different major trade
yeah, I
stones. Is
saw
that worth
that.
it?
That was the one you posted in the chat, right?
Would you consider that worth it?
I mean, all the daily deals are personalized for you. This is something they just put in the game with these daily deals, so we don't know
Mhm.
exactly like how it works yet. But for me, who has such easy access to trait stones and who has like, such a surplus of them, then obviously no. But for a new player, that one looked pretty good. You got a lot of arcane ones, which is the high tier trait
Mhm.
stones that you need a lot of for the good troops. So it might be worth it. It's hard to
It
say.
seemed
It's
like
very-
it was pretty worth it to me, unless you're going to sit there and just grind.
I mean,
over
if
and
it's
over
worth
and
it to
over again.
you, then I'm not going to complain about it. You know, if you're happy with your purchase, then
Well, I mean, just sometimes you might say, "Yeah, don't do that. That's just kind of a waste." I was just thought I'd ask.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
no,
don't buy them every day. If one's like, oh wow, like that's really
could use a
super
bunch of
helpful
those,
for me. Yes.
yeah.
That's
Well,
how
that's
I
what
see
they
it.
want you to do. They don't want they want you to use all your gems, obviously. So
You buy
that's why
more.
they have that's why they're personalized to yours to what the game thinks you need as well at the moment. Like all of
Ah.
mine currently are pretty much pets because that's like the biggest thing I need. So it's very tempting to buy them, but I'm trying to hold off. So I'm sure for you guys it'll just be like whatever you're
Cool,
close to, the
thanks.
game will offer you things.
That's interesting. I
for.
didn't know they were
I
personalized.
did cave and buy a new pet a few days ago.
Yeah.
Of course you
Oh
would.
boy.
Was it a cat?
No, it was just one that I didn't have yet.
So, if we go back to where you can see your resources, maybe between Awu and Sarah, you can talk about. You'll see there on the upper right of the screen. There's gold. There's
Oh,
souls, which is
oops.
the circle. There's glory, which is the pair of wings, and then there are gems that look like diamonds. Like, do you have opinions on what are the most valuable things to save these resources for, or any tips about the best way to earn those resources?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a big topic for each individual resource. So, gold.
Well, thinking about
is-
a player who's fairly new.
Yeah, see,
what
that's
they
even
might
more
have
difficult
access to,
to
yeah.
answer because you don't necessarily know what people have done. Like initially, you're gonna need that gold just to unlock kingdoms and upgrade them like on a basic level. And like we always say, like getting each kingdom to level 10 is a very good like early mid game, maybe even like slightly high game goal.
And what are the best ways to go about getting gold? I know there's some options, obviously, with the troops you have, but also that's part of leveling up your kingdoms. So maybe just speaking more about how you like leveling kingdoms, if Kenny can show us one of his and what that screen looks like.
Yeah, getting gold. I mean, gold is like the base currency, so you do get it from everything you do. And if you use a team like the skeleton key team that we talk about a lot as well, then that's also like a good gold boosting thing. But early on, you're not gonna have like a real gold farming team, I don't think, or even like a good place to farm gold.
At least I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't.
just-
It's not something I would necessarily worry about. Like farming gold in general, I don't think is really worth time.
No, it just
Okay.
comes in time. You just got to be patient. Like you'll
Yeah, and
eventually level all your kingdoms. You'll eventually have the gold that you need to do things. You have to be patient.
Yeah.
So I just
it's
see
not
that
a-
Alex
It's not a resource I would focus on.
RD asked a question in Mixer. He asked, "Can you trade items between people? Because it sounds like there are some things which are more worthwhile to some of you than theirs."
No, you can't. You can give gifts to other people. That's about the extent of that, and that only extends to like buying someone something with real money. You can't send anything.
And so even
I
within
like-
a
I
guild, you
assume-
can't share resources in that way.
No, I feel like it
They
would
don't
break
want.
the game
They don't
if
want
that
people to
happened.
use like alt accounts. Yeah.
Crud, I had a question. I just forgot. When you're talking about trying to get gold, one thing that I have noticed where I get a ton of gold from is the delves.
Yes, absolutely.
In the underworld.
If
crypt.
you get a obviously we haven't covered even the basics of delves, so this might not mean
I'd like to
anything
go
to some
deeply into
people.
that later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm very
a bit
curious
of a
about
can
delves
of
too.
worms, though. But yeah, if you get a good, let's say you get a good payout from a delve, just to keep it simple, and you get a gold payout, you don't always get gold from delves at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a good payout, you can get like at the end of delve, you can get like 60,000, 80,000 gold just at once, and then that's not
Wow.
even taking into account all of the individual rooms that give gold as well.
Yeah, I've been getting a ton of gold just from
That's why I
doing the
said
delves
to,
in
I think
City
it
of
was
Thieves.
to, I think it was to you, Matriarch, earlier as well. It's like it is very good to get your farming delves sorted with the horde quality, because you get so much gold once you start farming delves.
Yes.
All right, I want to
very
talk
much.
about that deeply later.
Quick question.
Yeah,
How
no.
did you? What's your take on the treasure of war in the shop? I was watching a video and they said to purchase the 10 limit in the shop every week. Do you think that's worth
Yeah.
it, or?
Absolutely.
Is that
That's
more
a
of a
very-
late
Can you
game?
show us what? Yeah, Kenny, can you,
Yeah.
I'm
is being
Hey, what's up?
not even sure.
I saw. See.
Okay, first of
So
all, I
it-
didn't
it's
even know
the shop,
salsa.
It's so go to the shop. It's
Are we talking about the glory reward, like the dynamite goat this week?
No.
It-
Oh, well, that too, but there's the
I suppose
Spirit
more. That's the
Week,
one.
Okay.
which has a limit of 10. I think it gives you.
Yep.
Well, you can go to the store and look at it.
It's gone. I just bought it because I was watching a video earlier this week, and the guy said, "Oh, get your 10 that we always do every week." And so I hopped in today, and I was like, "Oh, let's buy it, see what happens." But I put a good amount of what is it? The wings. Is that glory? I put a bunch
Glory,
of glory
yes.
towards it. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I hope I didn't just mess that up." But
Yeah,
This is
so
the
there you have
spoils
it
of
in
war,
resources.
okay.
Yeah, if you go to that one
Right
and
there.
hit it, you can get 10 of those every week.
You
Yeah,
can click on it, Kenny. It won't spend your spoils.
I
It
know.
won't spend your glory.
It's going.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So, okay, I'm looking at this spending 10 for 1,800 glory, especially when I have like 5,300. This actually seems like it
Mhm.
might be worth it since I get 10 event keys, and I do want the I want High King.
yeah, I know you were
Yeah,
talking about the event
absolutely.
keys, so that's why I was like, I got that, and I used my event keys right away, and I was like, yeah, it seems like a good deal. You don't really get that much gold for it, but I was like, is it worth it? I don't want to be wasting my glory, but I got plenty of glory, so.
Yeah,
Totally
see,
worth
what
it for those 20
glory-
treasure maps.
Shut
Oh, I
up,
was gonna
Sarah.
ask, are
We've
treasure
learned
maps
about
the most
those.
useless resource in the game?
I
think I
treasure
have
maps.
like 800 of them. Like
Treasure maps
what's
are great if you have the patience to use them, but it's such a pain in the butt. Like you don't want to.
Takes too long.
Well, and there's the
rewards-
achievement for getting the
Yeah, the two
treasure.
Yeah,
vaults.
if you're missing the achievement, then by all means. But I have 3,725 of them, and I
Good
don't think I'll
God.
be using any anytime soon.
I used to use them. So for those of you who are in guilds or new to guilds, there are various tasks you can do throughout the week to get guild seals. And one of the tasks you can do is to play a treasure map to 60 rounds, to 60 moves, and then you get a certain amount of guild seals. So I used to do that occasionally just to vary things up, but there's so much to do now that gets you
Yeah.
seals
Yeah.
that doesn't even seem like
Yeah,
a good use of the
it's-
time.
True
I'm
maps are
glad-
good.
No, I was just
Keep
gonna say
going.
I'm glad they raised it to 2,000 seals because it's like I feel like I hit it so quickly now.
I'd like to see it even
Even-
higher.
I
Yeah, it
say
used
I
to
know
be
that
1500, which was quite low.
I would say, are you guys newer? Are you newer people hitting your 2,000 seals pretty quick then too?
I mean, especially when you're doing speed explorers, you hit it really fast. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just focused on
doesn't
trying to
take
level up
much.
the kingdoms still. So
because if you should do so your daily adventure board, and I guess if people are interested, we can take more time to talk about that stuff, like what you should do when you log in every day. But if you do your daily adventure board, if you do your daily dungeon, if you do your daily delves, you've already done so many battles that you're getting a significant number of guild seals. Like just doing that every day.
Yes, yes, I do get a lot, and then on each Monday,
So PvP level 1 is something you can access. You'll see PvP on the left side. And I think during a Guild Wars week, you make progress toward that because the Guild Wars are considered PvP matches. But
Yeah,
otherwise, that's something you typically have to go into the PvP part of the menu and select those matches. I haven't done it in a while, but if I recall, you get 3 options, and there's sort of like an easier match, a middle match, and then a harder match. But each match gives you more trophies or more points that get you to a higher level. I think
yes.
that's how it works.
Yep,
and
yep. It's still the same way, has not changed.
Okay, and if you're into this for achievements, as we all are to a little degree, there I believe is an achievement to eventually hit PvP rank 1. You start at 15 and
Yes.
you work your way down to level 1.
Yep,
Mhm.
and it does reset every week.
Right.
Yep, which is
So
why
Guild War
usually on
weeks are-
Monday.
Oh,
Yep,
sorry, go ahead.
I say because that's why I do mine usually on Monday, because the higher
Mhm.
your PvP tier is, the more glory you receive each day.
Oh, really?
It's good to know. Okay.
Interesting. I did
All
not
right, I
know
got to
that.
start doing PvP a little bit every day now too. I have never seen that adventure board task on the top. Upgrade
Yeah,
a
I
treasure
saw
hoard
that
to
in
level
the last
4.
video, and I was like, wait,
Wow,
what is this?
I only ever
Yeah.
get either beat 100.
But I think
100
that must be like a low level thing. or
It
something, 'cause-
is because
Ow.
Matriarch, you're in a quote unquote older gems player. You've
Yes.
already, yeah, you got what, like, when if you listen to the last one, what me and Carnage see, like, we never saw all those other ones. We I can't remember
Jeez.
what the previous achievement specifications were, because this one ended up changing.
It was to upgrade a kingdom to level 3, but I wound up getting rid of it because, level up a kingdom to power level 3. I wound up getting rid of it because there was I needed to use a bunch of trait stones that I didn't have, and I didn't want to waste some of them on lower ones. So I'm like, I'll just skip it. I'll do the next one.
Yep. Jake, you're in that old crew as well. Then, if you're getting the kill 100 troops all the time.
Yeah.
I wish I had
it'll,
that.
it'll always either be that, or then rarely you'll have these days where it's like kill 150 troops of the same color.
Yeah, I never get
yesterday
that
I had
done in one day.
Kill 150 of purple, and yeah, I did. I guess people were mostly not rocking purple troops yesterday. All right, I'm going in on these 10 event keys from that glory I get.
Okay, no,
But-
no whammies. Let's see what you get.
I know.
hopefully you have better luck than I did.
I got Brian
I did.
lucky, so I mean, I feel pretty lucky right now.
Yeah.
So
I didn't comment on it, but I was gonna say you did get actually some decent pulls from those event keys that you used earlier.
woot woot.
You did get you got a legendary goblin troop, and you got string fiddler as well, which is a kind of meta troop.
Sweet.
now, is there a reason why Kenny's holding on to all these gold keys? Why doesn't he just use those all at once? Because
So-
it's bothering me that he has that many.
I was actually going
Yes,
to.
use
I was
them.
just saving them for this reason. I'm like, Is there like a specific time I should
it's like
use them?
Read messages in their inbox.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
I got Queen Grapple Pot, who's a new legendary for me, but
Nice.
nothing else too exciting.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Now,
Let's roll those dice, Kenny, on those gold keys.
when you were talking about
There's no dice rolling on gold keys.
now, what key was it that you were saying that I should wait for the first Friday of every month for? What key should I use that on?
The green
Gem
ones.
and green ones
Sorry?
are the ones you want to see what kingdom is the week. You know, the kingdom of the week.
Mhm.
And my gem keys, I want to wait till the first Friday, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep, and it will tell you on the screen when you log in saying, "Hey, there's a new mythic troop."
Okay. All right. So Saucy, sure. I'll go for the, let's open up the golden ones
Yeah,
first.
let's do it. Roll them.
There's no
All
way.
casinos are shut down, so I need some kind of a
Well,
fix, you know?
I
think
am
he's
not
at a point,
sitting
though,
here
where
through
he
500
may
moves.
still
If
get
only
newer
the stream was
troops.
caught up.
Just going back to the adventure board though, like when you say older gems players, newer gems players, like is that actually just defined by like how long ago you
No,
started
it's,
playing the game?
I
What do you mean?
assume it's more just like if you have all this stuff already done, the game just doesn't even bother giving you
Okay.
these more specific tasks.
That
Yeah,
makes
like I
sense.
was never given those tasks. I just when they put
Right.
that adventure board up, mine went straight to kill 100 troops or kill 150 of a certain color.
Yeah, it's always been like that for me too.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I don't remember seeing it another way either.
Because I've been playing this game for quite a while.
Too long.
Yes. Achievement Fest is actually what got me into it.
Seriously, why?
So his gamer tag is Dead Inside, and he came with Lady Death. I don't know how many, but he was pretty hung out regularly there. But they came to Achievement Fest, drove all the way from Jersey, and played Gems of War the entire time.
You know, I
Wow.
think I
I'm just
remember
like-
when I was there, there were people trying
Sounds
to
like
get
a
me to
Jersey
join
thing.
them. I remember that now.
So I was playing this game the whole time. Like, what is going on with this? This is like, it's clearly got to be something. Like, if they're playing literally the entire time. So
Ufu and Koosh talked me into it.
You're welcome.
good for them.
Yeah, this should
So
we got a good group going, so maybe we'll accomplish something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
making progress.
All right.
yeah, the
Yep.
guild is definitely improving. But anyways, yeah, they sold me. They're like, "Oh, join our guild, and you'll just get nothing but resources, and it'll be
What's up,
so
Facial?
easy." And
All right.
Facial, hi, and you are lame.
That's part of the reason why I said that. All right. Okay, where should we begin on this? I kind of want to start getting into the delves a little bit. First of
yeah,
all,
really.
I have 3 delves that I want to use. So
Hold on, sir. Hold on.
okay, hold
sir.
on.
Back that bus up.
I'm bringing my bus.
You
up.
have not. You have not played
Um,
adventure board yet.
We're not going to
today.
spend time watching that, are we?
I'm sorry. What would you just say? You just cut out for me. This internet's driving me nuts. I'm so sorry.
You not do your adventure board battles.
Okay. I will do the adventure board battles first.
So
Yeah.
for anyone watching with the adventure board, just so you're a little aware of it, the adventure board always gives you 3 different types of
Resources.
what's the word I'm looking for? Like resources, yes, resources you can earn, and there are 3 levels per resource set. Now you may sometimes get a day like today where I think that 2 of the sets actually are for glory, but you'll notice that they have colors around them. So white is common; those are easier, but you're going to have lesser rewards. Blue is ultra rare, I think, if not rare, so you'll have better rewards for that. So if you're a new player to gems, the white ones, the common ones, you should be able to do with little trouble. As you get further up in terms of difficulty, they'll be harder to do. So, for example, the other day, there were lots of deeds on the adventure board. Deeds are kind of a later game thing to worry about. They have to do with kingdom levels, and those would be rather difficult for someone new to jump into and do. But don't feel like you have to get all 9 things done. Just do as best you can to take advantage of the resources from the adventure board every day.
Yes. Uh, Kenny, do you not have a quick team built?
So I don't have the Imperial Jewel, so I can't actually do that. So I've just been using the Merfolk team since this has been seeming like it's been doing the best for me.
Imperial Jewel really isn't the needed troop in that one.
Yeah, you need Sunbird and
Firebomb.
yes.
Okay, I have both
Can we
of them.
talk real quick about what quick troop is and like how these troops work that make the match run quickly?
Sure. So, there are some troops that have traits like starts the battle with full mana, or starts the battle with 50% mana, or starts the battle with 50% mana for certain types of troops. Um, so a quick team for a quick battle is we want something that you hardly have to match any gems, maybe one or two, and you are set to go and you can complete the battle in one or two turns.
I obviously the stream is behind. I will bring up my Firebomb team.
So this is why Sarah was challenging Kenny to get this stuff done, because if you have a decent quick troop built, the adventure board games really don't take very long for you to do, especially when they're mostly low level as they are today.
Yeah.
And if you do low level explorers, you get trait stones quick, and you also level very fast.
Yes.
So sometimes that's important.
Yes, or if you are looking to get some souls, a lot of the challenges at the lower tiers, or whatever. Wait, it's not souls anymore, but Fug, I know you're running through a bunch of challenges, right, to get resources at low levels with your quick team.
Fug?
Fug.
Rip Fug.
Say again, I'm watching the grandkids.
There's nothing better than pizza.
I just thought he was old and didn't hear me, but
No, I have to keep muting because the grandkids are here. What'd you say?
I said you had been doing some of the low-level tier challenges with your quick team to get resources as well, right?
Yeah, I can usually get through 1 and 2 before I start to have some issues with those challenges.
But I was just saying that's I don't remember what the rewards are offhand for the low ones. Isn't it like souls and
Yeah, it's not something particularly great, but it's still not bad.
Okay.
But even, it's just, you can quickly knock them out. Just like,
Mhm.
yeah.
So
it
was
doesn't take long to
Sunbird
do
who
it.
else?
Firebomb.
Okay, yeah, I see if Kenny had that. I wasn't sure.
So I have the Firebomb. I'm actually back in doing the adventure board.
Kenny, do you have the? Okay.
But when it finally catches up, that's an example of how the Firebomb team works.
So I know we're going to speak about delves shortly, because I think that's mostly what we're going to deep dive into tonight. But Jay Black just asked about the fact that you can upgrade gold rings. So when you unlock items from the portal, you sometimes get stuff that you would put into the treasure hoard, and these would be like a gold cup, a ring, a crown. He's asking, he's assuming there's no reason to upgrade that. Is that correct?
Yeah, like Facial said, there's literally no reason. Well,
I guess if
the
you
only
just want to show
possi-
off and trade it, I
Yeah.
guess.
the only possible reason is the Jeff achievement, but let's not even talk about that thing.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a stupid achievement, and I don't need to know about that yet.
That's very late game, like 100 streams from now.
Yeah, that one's beyond me as well.
So it's beyond Sarah, so that's stupid far in the game.
It's the only achievement I've needed to get for a very long time.
You have
Oh, and
any
now the
troops
30,000 renown.
which just popped a couple days ago, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is that spreadsheet you had for that shareable, or is that something you found somewhere, or something you create?
No,
Which
it's
spreadsheet
my
is that?
spreadsheet.
Okay.
I have a spreadsheet with those medals and factions and stuff. It's pretty basic, so there's no real need to
There are lots of good spreadsheets
This-
that have been built by other people about what to do with different stuff. So I think we've been to most of those.
Right.
So,
and I'm hoping.
facial. Let me
Go
just
ahead.
address facial real quick.
Mhm.
The mass ascending does not send treasure troops. It skips those automatically.
Yep, I can verify that 'cause
Oh,
I
okay.
mass ascend all the time.
It
And
skips
mine
what
are
type of
not
troop?
traded.
The
The
Skips
treasure
the underworld treasure troops that we were just talking about.
God, I was away for a minute, so I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
It's okay,
maybe
you
when,
and your herd of
Yeah,
Maybe
because I
when-
also
Pretty
mass
much, I have to
ascend-
keep muting
mass
myself,
ascend every time
otherwise you guys wouldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I mass ascend every time it's available,
yes,
and my
I'm
treasure troops
absolutely
are
sure
still at
Facial-
bits.
when
They-
Ken- with his venture board, maybe he
Mhm.
can just show.
It's a very handy feat.
So, like we mentioned earlier, ascending troops happens when you have multiple copies of a troop, and then you kind of just put them all together and make them rarities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there ever a reason not to ascend a troop? Because you
No.
can do something with extra troops called disenchanting, where you
Yes.
get some orbs for them. So you should always
You
ascend.
cannot I don't believe you can disenchant a troop any fully ascended to mythic.
Oh wow! Oh okay.
And you
used
can
to be able to do it
do-
manually, but I don't.
Definitely had done
you
it in the
can now.
past when I got tired of trying to grind souls for
Right.
Xenos.
I think they
So
took that
yeah,
out.
Awu is actually correct. You cannot do it individually anymore because I tried to before the update where you could buy the
Mhm.
I wanted to lower the ascension on one of my troops so that way one of the things said one of my troops was enchant the highest level troop and I wanted to enchant another one and it kept picking like the worst one. So but yeah, you can't disenchant it.
Wow.
There is a mass disenchant tool. Is that what you'd call it as well? Is that accurate? Where you
Sure,
can
yeah.
disenchant all of your extras. It will keep 4 copies of your mythics.
Yes. Well, it'll keep 4 copies of anything you have ascended. So that's completely safe to do. There's never not a reason not to do it simply because you can't have more than 4 of the same troop in the team anyway. So there's no reason to have more than 4
That makes sense.
at any time.
This is your last adventure board battle.
Yes. Because apparently we can't
didn't
continue until
take so
I
long.
beat this.
Well, you have to do your homework, Kenny.
The one thing I didn't do.
Hey, hot dog.
Hot doggy.
So,
Somebody say my name? I'm muted, sorry.
Hot dog and fug are the same.
I can see the
Sorry.
similarity.
Bug's been drinking already.
I thought that as a joke about.
You're
like,
not
people
wrong.
Also, Doughboy says the Twitch stream isn't working.
Ah,
Get a
Why
mixer
isn't
and
he
be 30
using-
seconds
yeah.
behind. You'll be fine.
Mixer.
I'm sorry it's not working. It's just is what it is. And like I said before, if you just joined in, sorry, I'm having internet issues. That's why the stream is so far behind. And the party may be cutting out. It's been one heck of a night.
Did you mix a little vodka with that Red Bull? Kenny?
No.
Now, Kenny, before you go do delves, can you just show where this mass ascension thing is? Because I actually wasn't aware of it either, so I'm curious where it would be.
Oh, yeah, it's not the most. As with many things in this game, it's just a feature. There's X here in this.
Oops.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
it's not
also
random in
showed
aspects.
Fufu how to have the numbers displayed on the mana last time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
people that don't play for speed,
Yeah, that I don't understand. I really don't know how you play it.
I wish they made it even faster, but they won't.
Right.
It's
I agree.
actually quite
Somebody worked-
fascinating why they won't make it any faster than this, but
Somebody
Okay.
worked very hard to program of something happening, so more
Mm.
speed is as best as you're
Okay.
gonna get, I guess. Okay, so here we are.
This menu. This is just the normal. I don't know which you're looking at your
Azura.
what is that?
Could you
Group
back
as
up
well.
real quick, Kenny? So, okay.
Yeah. Left corner, you see the little arrow, double arrow icon.
Where it says press X.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a little exclamation point on there, like there is right now, that means you have something to ascend in your entire troop collection. So you hit X right now, it will ask you if you want to ascend every possible troop that you can possibly
Yeah,
ascend.
and there's no harm in doing that, foo-foo.
Yeah, it
Right. Yeah, I
That
remember that
seems
from last
scary
time.
at first, but there's literally no reason not to do it.
Oh, heck, I'm gonna go press the scary button.
I will say though,
give me a
I
minute.
really wish a list would come up and show me what tropes I just ascended.
Yeah, that might be nice, but
That's kind of crazy that it
Um,
doesn't.
So if you look at ones that are whether it's traits or ascension, but you're already ascended, if you go to your filter by upgradable, if it has the blue symbol, it means it can be ascended.
Oh.
And if it has a green symbol, it can be traded. And sometimes you'll see both.
Sorry, I missed that. What are you talking about?
Darn kids.
I heard
Does someone
blue
wanna
and green.
repeat
and
Oh,
whatever.
son of a gun. I did not know that. That's
Blue,
so helpful.
green, pink, orange.
What she was just saying, like if you could see me doing it now, you go to the filters and then you could do order upgradable, and then go down to apply filter, and now on in the top right on my troops there's like a little plus sign that shows that I can upgrade their traits. And what color is it if I can ascend them?
Blue.
Blue.
But you just ascended everything,
Right.
so you won't have any.
Interesting. That's good to know.
Well, thank you.
If it's pink, you should probably send me some candy.
What?
Don't worry about it, Pug. I just really want
Alright.
some Reese's cups right now.
Thomas, go give her a Reese's cup.
Well, he's getting me a drink, so we're good.
That's even better.
And you're talking about me drinking vodka. I'm not even drinking.
Jay Black pointed out something that's helpful. You don't have to actually click apply filter. You can just hit Y.
Oh, I can? I did not know
Yep.
that. That's cool. That's helpful. Oh, yeah. Wow, I'm kind of mad at myself. I never noticed that. It has a Y right there on the apply filter.
Yeah, it's a nice shortcut, so it doesn't take so damn long.
Wow. Okay.
And I think X clears the filters. Is that right? Is that right?
Yep. I think.
So
Mhm.
to answer Death Dealer's question, Kenny, you might actually be able to answer. Does it matter which one is your home kingdom?
yes.
Yes. So personally, well, actually, let me click on my home kingdom. You can go to a kingdom and then kingdom info. I've realized the stream is farther behind. Give me a second. Okay, eventually this will
I just
catch
talk
up.
about it. We're fine.
Okay. When you click on a kingdom, you can go to kingdom info and it'll show you what you get in the way of bonuses. Personally, for me right now, I'm at Kaziel, or Kaziel. I'm sorry. I'm at Kaziel because I want gold. And since I want gold, Kaziel gives you the most gold. But unfortunately with that, I get no glory or souls.
So just all depends on what you're looking for as to where your home kingdom is.
Right.
Right, and just to clarify, this is only related to the hourly tribute. This has nothing to do with like getting extra gold from anything else.
Right.
And you can still get glory and souls as tribute from
Yeah,
other
you
kingdoms,
still
right?
get everything from every other kingdom tribute. This just boosts what you get when this particular kingdom gives tribute.
Yeah, so each day each day I'm getting tribute from everything, but Kaziel gives me extra gold, which is, like I said, that's what I want. I know there is There's a doc. I believe it's pinned in the Gems of War room in the Discord, discord.io/ah101, and it shows you what kingdoms give you what. And if you want more souls, more gems, or if you want more gold, it's just you just pick the one that you want.
Few that really matter in that regard, since it's like, oh, do you want the most gold, the most glory, or the most souls? Like, those are really the only ones you have to care about, which are, I believe it is Kaziel for gold. I'm not sure. I never had to go for gold in that. It's White Helm for glory, and I think it's Qatar, because that's where I.
That sounds right. Before I had Kaziel, I was Dragon's Claw because, as you can see in like 5 seconds, it gives you a nice mix of gold, souls, and glory. And for a while, when it's like, oh, I need everything, I'm like, let me use this. But now that it's like, oh, I'd rather just get all my kingdoms to level 10, go with all gold. I want as much gold as I can get, and then I'll probably swap to getting more. I'll probably do something of give me all 3. That way I get a nice mix.
Yeah.
Should you prioritize either leveling or leveling the power of the kingdom that you set to be your home kingdom?
Definitely prioritize getting every kingdom to 10, as we always say. But power level is really hard to address at low levels because it's such an important part of the game, but it's also so spread out. Like,
It is a mid to late game thing for sure.
it is a late game thing, but you like at the
They
same
can start
time
on it at low
you're
ones,
always
yeah.
working on it on some level because it like everything you do in the game pretty much is required at some point in power leveling.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I kind of forget about power level because some of it's just so difficult to increase. And like now I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, I can actually do this. I might as well start upgrading Kaziel.
Yeah, so like every once in a while, I'll go and check my kingdoms and see, oh, I have an easy one to knock out to like get to the next tier. Like yours, you only need to level 1 troop to 5, and boom, you're gonna hit the next tier.
Yeah, that's why I have my spreadsheet for that, just to see like which ones I'm close on, because it's really hard to keep track of it when you have like 30 something kingdoms.
I remember when the game launched with like 7, I think.
Yeah.
I started playing about a year after the game came out. I think there was maybe like 12 to 15 when I started. I'm trying to read Jay Black's question. There's so many words.
On some kingdom screens, it shows that you can get bonus trait stones. When does that change? And what level explore should you do to try and get those trait stones?
So the trait stone that it shows is the one that's unique to that kingdom. The arcane one, sorry, that is unique to that kingdom. If you want the trait stone quickly, just do it at the lowest level. If you're going for the ridiculous Jeff achievement, you need to do it at the level 12 explore.
So you'll get that highest level trait stone even on the lowest level.
Yes.
Explore? Okay.
It's a higher chance on the higher level. If you go to explore, every difficulty has little numbers underneath it telling you exactly like how much better it is than the previous difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
So you get more
the
trait
list.
stones at higher leveling, basically.
Yeah, and here's the list of the different power levels of what you get. What is Kingdom Skill Bonus?
Okay, that's very important.
Yes.
And I don't know where to start with it. Well, every kingdom has a skill tied to it, and a skill is a stat point. So either life, armor, attack, or magic.
Magic is the best.
Is the best, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah, because I have questions, and I don't think we're ready for that
So-
this stream.
I think as power levels, I think the first skill bonus you get is at 10. It's like, I don't remember what. But anyway,
That sounds
can-
right.
yeah, each kingdom has a particular skill tied to it, and will give that. If you have that it unlocks for that kingdom, it unlocks a certain power levels and certain levels, plus 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, to that skill across all your troops.
Oh, awesome. So there's a follow-up.
Not just your hero either. It's like literally every troop will get like whatever bonus it is
How
So-
permanently.
How-
Black has a follow-up saying that on Dragonclaw it shows a plus percentage chance to get the stone. That's what I was
Right.
wondering when that changes. Is that the case?
With the
I
low
have to
difficulty.
look to see exactly what he's talking about. I can do that after this battle. In my own game, that is.
And also, Facial asks, does level 12 Explorer have more of a chance than level 10? They both earn 2 to 3.
No. As far as tokens go, they're the so it's better for farming tokens. Other than that, it really does not make a difference.
Yeah, because if you're doing getting the mist stones on the ones where you get the special bonus, you get to go to the mini boss 9 times out of 10. Because you'll
Mhm.
be just shy, that 10th time?
You kind of cut out a minute ago with the kingdom skill. How is it that you find them? I don't know if you asked that already.
If you go, you're on the kingdom, the main menu for a kingdom right now. If you scroll over to level 9, or the level up the kingdom menu, not the kingdom power menu, but the
Nope, now
Yes,
he's
not the
looking at
power level,
boxes
but the...
and penguins.
Sorry, I was doing other things while you were speaking.
yeah. If you go back to the main menu for a kingdom,
Is it
you,
under kingdom info?
it's not. Oh well, it might be there too. But I know it's under the actual like kingdom leveling menu that has everything.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So everything on the left there is pretty much all you need to know about a kingdom.
okay.
So
So
the skill bonus there, as you can
Is
you can see it
health.
right now, and it says +1 life. That's the kingdom skill bonus, which means all your troops will get +1 life forever. And that might not sound like a lot, but when all the kingdoms are giving different types of skills, it really, really adds up.
So every kingdom contributes, not just your home kingdom in this case.
No, and every kingdom, yeah, always.
so
And so this is sort of like an endgame thing where you want to prioritize leveling certain kingdoms because you want certain skill points. Like life and armor are usually not that important, but attack and definitely magic are much more important.
interesting. So just to clarify, Kaziel's my home kingdom. If I were to get the power level of Dragon's Claw up, I would still get the Dragon's Claw bonus, right?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with
Interesting.
power. With the only thing home kingdom affects is the tribute thing we're talking about.
Okay,
earlier.
that's what I thought. Cool.
Yep, so keep pouring your gold into your kingdoms.
But I should also clarify, because I don't know if this is clear, how you may have that kind of backwards. Because you said you get stuff every day. It's well, from tribute.
So the more you log in, the better.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry. You
wish it was like at the top of every hour, but it's not.
you said every
Sorry, there was
hour
a cover
you
up.
get stuff. You cut out again.
Yeah, every hour you'll get
Okay.
the little coin icon in the bottom center, or
Right.
on the map.
The pulsing coin.
And it's like I said, it's 1 hour from the last time you claimed, so you can't just like sign on. Every time you claim your tribute, every kingdom you have unlocked has a chance to tribute. So you're not guaranteed to get everything from even your home kingdom every time you claim. So it will roll through every kingdom and give you a random assortment. That's why you want to level your kingdom power level, because it gives each kingdom a higher chance to give tribute every time you claim.
Currently, I just wanted to see before you spend the rest of it before we go into the dolls.
Yeah, you just kind of
It's just
doing stuff in
going.
the background, isn't he?
Sorry.
I just want to make a quick total non sequitur point to what we're talking about here. So when you're in your troop screen, something you'll see on the left side is you can make a whole bunch of different teams. And that eventually is what you're going to get to. You're going to build your team that you use for regular things and your soul farming. This is just an aside from personal experience. Name them so they're
Yes.
easy to identify.
Yeah.
Because if
Yes.
you just leave them
This
all as
is-
team 1, team 2, or like
It's
A, B,
impossible
and
to
D,
figure out who's
it is
who.
impossible. Yeah. So like
Mhm.
I've been playing around with the troop you mentioned because I forged Norbert's turnip last week, and I
Oh,
just
it's a good
finally
team.
I just finally got a second King Gob truffle, so I'm like ready to go in
Oh,
there
you
and build
did.
this team.
Nice.
And I got 3 of them in my last pull because that's how RNG works. Um, but I can't remember which team it is now, so I'm going through every team I have to see which one has that. So please rename your teams. It's
Yeah,
gonna save you
I
time.
am super guilty of this. You should see my menu. It's like it's not only like not named teams, but it's like outdated names for teams. Like I'll run out of team slots and then I'll change a team, but I won't rename it. So it's like got some like old name that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, that's
Yeah,
Aren't there
my,
like 40 team slots?
Oh
my,
well, you'll run
Guild
out. Believe
Wars.
me,
Yes.
eventually.
Yes, I need a red defense. I need a defense team of every color for my Guild Wars. I need an attack team of every color for my Guild Wars,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I have like 4 different explore teams that I run, and yeah, they fill up quick.
All
I
right.
really do.
And I'm
You'll
bad
find
about
them-
naming them.
Right, and you'll find them for different things. Like back when I was playing this, like in my first turn being obsessive over playing this, I had a team that was a soul farming team. And I have better troops for that now. But my soul farming team is now my fast explore team, but I never renamed it from soul farming, so it was very confusing for a little bit there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
I'm going through. I'm just until we get to the next thing that you need me to go to. I'm just kind of leveling up a troop to level 5 to get to
Mhm.
power level 1 on each kingdom, because then each kingdom will give me an extra 100 gold each per day, which that's huge. I wish I would have thought of that sooner.
Yeah,
I
we
think-
didn't get quite that deep on the last stream. We were trying to keep it fairly basic.
Right. Yeah, like that.
Man,
That's
it's,
huge when there's like 30 kingdoms.
Yeah, there's just so
Yeah.
many facets to cover in this game. I mean, we've been talking for almost about an hour and a half, and you have only played your adventure board battles.
But it's just a match 3 game, right?
Yeah, how
Right.
difficult could it possibly be?
So to Facial's point, like Facial saying that he uses the same team for almost everything, although he does have soul and gold farming teams, as well as his guild war defense teams. And I know I find that too. I basically I have my general team I use for most things. But the more I'm learning about the game, the more I'm finding that that team isn't really enough for most of what I need to do. At least in my
Right.
experience.
No, I mean, even at the late stages of the game, you usually do have a go-to team for a lot of stuff. But what we were talking about is mainly like Guild Wars stuff, which is really like not something you have to concern yourself with,
Right.
where you have to make teams based off just a single color for each day, and you end up having like tons of teams just because of that.
Yeah.
Jables is asking Kenny if you wouldn't mind going to Whitehelm.
Sure. No problem. Give me
Jables, what did you want us to look at Whitehelm?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and just to go back to what he was saying, I only use my one team, my Merfolk team, because my Firebomb team and my Soul Farming team isn't very good right now. I don't have the traits unlocked, and
You
because of that, it's
have-
just not the best.
You have the skeleton key team. You just have to do some explore battles to get some traits for them.
Yes, and I just have not done that yet. I just need to level things up, and before I did the last stream, and Sarah told me, "Hey, do all this and not what you were doing." Basically, I dumped all my resources into leveling my Merfolk team, and because of that, it's actually really good, and it's the only thing I could seem to be able to win with.
Oh, Jables is asking about that 20% Mythstone bonus. So that applies to. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. So every time you hit 100 Mythstones in Explore, you can do a mini boss battle.
Oh, that's what he was talking
Mhm.
about. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you
Um,
do the boss battles, when you get rewards for tokens. which can be 3 tokens to a badge and 3 badges to a medal.
Oh, and that's all the stuff
Does
you
it-
need for that Jeff achievement.
Yeah, does that make
Right.
sense, Jables?
Oh, okay. That makes
He's
sense.
asking if it's a bonus chance or a bonus number. Seems like it's a bonus 20%.
It's
right?
a bonus.
Like a
Yeah,
chance.
it's a flat-
It's static. It's not a chance.
Oh,
That-
it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So you
every
just get an
battle that
extra
you
20.
or actually I think this is like every time you finish the explore you get those myth stones, right?
Yes.
And so therefore when in like White Helm right now I have a 20% bonus, so when I complete the explore I get an extra 20% myth stones. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually really good to know. So as of right now, Windhelm or I keep saying Windhelm, White Helm
White Helm.
or like what is this, Pan's Veil or whatever has the bonus, that's the ones you want to do explores in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or since you're starting out, you can just grind the trait stones that you need at a lower level.
Or that too.
J Black, it moves every time you do one of those. Like if you complete an explore that has a 20% bonus, it'll move somewhere else after that.
Oh, that's interesting. I would have
Okay.
thought it was like every day. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like
No,
a
it's just
weekly thing.
Completely
Oh, okay.
random every time you complete one of them. It's kind of good because it kind of encourages you to go to different kingdoms, which means you'll get a lot of different trait stones.
Right.
You'll build up a bit of an inventory of not just one type.
So in all
what-
honesty, if I were to just sit down, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do explore battles. I probably should just stick with whatever that is, unless I need a specific one.
Well, yeah, to an extent, yes. When you get to the higher levels of Explore, you also do have to take into account that each kingdom uses different troops that you have to fight. So some kingdoms are harder, like some kingdoms just have better troops that you have to fight against in the Explorer.
Mhm.
Ah,
So, so sometimes it's not worth it, but most of the time, if you're just fighting
Kenny-
low level stuff, then yeah, no, it's no problem.
Kenny, you have new homework from me.
oh boy.
You need to fully trait your skeleton key team. You need to do some serious exploring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is in the
uh,
skeleton key team again?
You
Just,
don't need the traits on Egg Thief, I don't think, but you do need it on Greed and Cedric to make it kind of
Mhm.
Okay.
well, definitely Cedric. Greed, I
yeah.
guess you could get away with, but
Bug's
Definitely
favorite
Cedric.
troop name, Cedric Sparkle Sack.
Okay, that actually seems like it should be really good. I should use that. Okay.
Now, those all fit under the category of generates gold, right? Because all I have really is greed out of those characters. I mean, I have Leprechaun and a few other people.
Say that again.
Sorry, what was your question? I missed
all
it
the
too.
people on the,
I'll
on
be
the
right
thief
back.
team, that's
Okay.
all the generate gold filter, right? For the spell effect that you want on that thief team for
Oh, right.
skeleton key. Yeah. So does it really? So like, I don't have the egg thief. So should I just pretty much go with someone else who generates gold, or is there?
no.
You
Oh,
kind of
Cedric
need
Sparkle
egg
Sack.
thief.
Yeah, Egg
Okay.
Thief's purpose on that team is not to generate gold. Egg Thief's team purpose is just to blow up the whole board and generate mana for everything else.
So is there someone else who'd probably be like a good substitute, or a certain spell trait I should go for?
You could use like Thrall or something like that, I guess, or a different Exploder instead of a Gem
Exploder, okay.
Destroyer.
Explode gems.
Yeah, the Egg Thief doesn't explode gems; it destroys gems, which is similar but not the same.
Okay, there's a destroys gem category I can use too. So let me try that one.
Yeah, so you could put in Thrall there, for example, and see if that works. It has a very low mana cost, so it might do the job.
Okay. Yeah, I have Thrall. Cool.
See, my biggest thing right now is, excuse me, I need to fully trait Sparkle Sack.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't know if you're actually seeing it, but like Egg Thief and Greed for me are both fully traded. All 4 of my guys are fully leveled. I just need, obviously, more mythic ingots to power up the skeleton key. And then I also need a ton of trade stones for my hero class, for my thief class, and for Sparkle Sack.
So you want to have like a one destroy gem, one generate gold, in with the skeleton key. Should you focus more on the destroy gems or more on the generate gold for that fourth slot?
Fourth slot should be
So-
greed, but the third slot should be a gem destroyer. Yeah.
Okay, and the second slot should also be a gem destroyer or a gold.
No, that's the skeleton
It's
key.
the attacker,
Okay,
So-
which should be the first slot then.
Cedric.
Cedric.
So if you're looking at the stream, Saucy, I have Cedric, the Skeleton Key, Egg Thief, and then Greed. The idea of the team is, like they said, you just use Egg Thief to basically just keep blowing up the board over and over and over. Greed
Yeah.
works well with that because it gives you gold. And the more gold you collect, the more Egg Thief can blow up. And therefore, the
And
more...
skeleton key hits harder.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I saw that, but I didn't have like any of the same characters as you, so I was like, oh, I wish I had Egg Thief, you know. So
And Sparkle Sack, the only way you could get him, I think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, is
the
to go
vault.
to games and go to the Gnome Vault.
yeah, I
Yeah.
only had 2 for Gnome Vault, so I didn't pull any of him yet. So I was like,
And
Maybe
Bug,
same
you got
boat
your
as me.
sparkle sack?
I don't have them yet. Nope.
You can get 2 vault
Hopefully-
keys from the bounty event this week.
Right, and hopefully now that the
Well.
guild is more active, oftentimes vault keys are one of the rewards you get as the guild earns points in certain guild events. So hopefully people have more access to them now.
I don't think vault keys are a guild task. I
Oh
don't...
no, not a guild task.
Guild
like
events.
when you're doing a guild
Oh,
event,
guild
like a
events.
raid
Yeah, yeah,
portal
yeah, I'm
or
sorry.
Doom Tower. Yeah,
Yes.
Usually like level 3 or level 4 or something like that.
does it
they're
matter?
usually pretty
the,
attainable. Yeah.
Does it matter the difficulty for the vault that would pull Cedric's
No.
Sparkle Sack more likely? Okay.
Okay, so you
It
always
doesn't
just want
matter
to do
what
the lowest.
difficulty it is, and it doesn't matter if any gnomes escape. You will still get the full rewards,
Oh, that's good
as
to know.
opposed to normal gnomes where you
Jamisha?
don't get anything if they escape.
Welcome to the stream.
Thanks for the follow.
And I will say Cedric is not that rare to get from a vault, just to as a bit of encouragement. Because I have I've gotten so many Cedrics to the point where I'm like, I wish I got something else when I did vaults.
Ooh, I'm a woo, and I have everything I need. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, it's for a legendary troop, it's not that bad.
Um,
They could have made it way worse.
That is true.
and then obviously
Yeah.
the main goal of Cedric is just for his money bag straight, since you get to double the gold you have.
Yeah, his
Hi,
actual
Facial.
spell isn't that
Dang
great.
it, now this
like-
party is super lame.
What?
So, I think another thing too, when there's a legendary that is attached to a specific task, like either a delve or something like the vaults, the RNG is generally more in your favor anyway. It's just when they have to
Yeah,
come
it's
from
just-
chests that
It's just a smaller
very
pool.
bad.
That's why the
Yeah.
faction troops are really easy to pull as well, because there's only 8 items they can possibly choose from.
Something else with the skeleton key team, you want to use a thief class, and one of the things I've been using is when I get to level 10, I have the talent tree light fingers. I have that activated, so every single turn I'm gaining 5 gold.
Yep, that
Mhm.
helps with that.
So then it's just, that much more I'm gaining gold faster. And also the thief class is great for if you're just doing explore battles, because then you're also generating a little bit more gold just that much faster to increase your kingdom. However, I have
it's
swapped
always
over.
nice to have little things like that that add up over time, even if you're just doing random
Right.
battles.
Although,
But
however,
hi,
if you
Facial.
have seen it, like my merfolk, I've switched to what is it? Mechanicist?
Machinist.
Machinist?
Mechanist. Oh,
Thank you. Mechanist?
machinist,
Wow.
mechanic.
What I
don't-
have that
Well,
one.
what are you looking at?
I
We're still
swapped.
behind on the stream.
Yeah, I swapped over to that just because I'm trying to unlock all the class weapons now.
Is there a value to unlocking all the class weapons? I feel like there are pretty few that are actually
Yeah,
There's
used
like
in
4 that are
typical
really
metas.
good.
yeah. You asked me about this the other day,
Yeah.
and there's there are a lot of trash class weapons. Yeah, they are mythic, but they're not like, sure, they could probably be useful if you're low level. If that's all you have, it's probably great. But like, when I say like, oh, this is useless, I'm just saying like, oh, there's no current meta team with this. I'm speaking from that kind of perspective.
But you never
Another-
know when it might be useful later on.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
no, you never know what troops are going to come back into favor based on like what other new troops are released and such, or nerfs here and there, or whatever.
And
it
that's
may be,
my.
but
Sorry, continue.
So think of your MTG terms, like Kenny, in terms of MTG playing.
Mm.
Like you never know what new cards release that will break it, or will make
Oh,
this
no.
really awesome deck.
Yeah, I got you. That's part of the reason why I swapped over to a new class, because if the only way to unlock a weapon is to win 250 levels or 250 battles while that class is selected. So I figured I might as well unlock them all because I'm going to be doing 10 gajillion battles over the course of this game.
yeah,
I
No,
might
that
as well
makes
unlock
sense
them all in
actually.
case one day one of them's valuable. I have it unlocked
Yeah,
and I don't have to sit
absolutely.
there and grind for it.
Unlock them just in case.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
also
So for
need
those of you-
weapons for powering up your kingdoms.
Hey,
Hey, K4.
Carnage.
What's up, K4?
Hey, we got everybody in
So for
here.
those
All
of-
right.
So for those of you who aren't aware, when we're talking about class weapons, there are a number of classes you get throughout the game. This comes from beating the Kingdom Quest, and then there's a series of about 4 matches you have to do to unlock that that job title or that class. You have to win 250 battles while that class is equipped, and that unlocks the class item. So that's where all this comes from.
Yeah,
Right.
it's probably good to cover since Death Dealers I saw she just unlocked the Warlock class or not Warlock, I mean Warlord class in the chat a bit ago. So probably could
I
use
think
some of
Warlord
this
is-
basic stuff right now.
By the basic class that
Yeah,
most people
it's the
start
Broken
with.
Spire one, which is your base kingdom. So yeah, it will be the first one for I think.
I have like a
Probably
level
everyone.
97 Warlord or something because I didn't know any
Oh,
better.
jeez,
and-
that's impressive.
I'm in that same boat.
I would
Yeah.
say my highest one is Titan at the 100, but that's like the best one to 100.
I
Mhm.
mean, I'm
Um,
probably overstating a little bit. I'll look after this match, but it's because I didn't know. Like, honestly, until we really started talking about it in the Discord, I honestly did not get any of these finer points of the game.
So just to speak to that a little bit, like they said, there is a class for every single kingdom. After you beat all the quests,
Yes.
you get to unlock a class quest line, which is then 5 more battles. You beat those, then you unlock that class. Every single class gives you access to be able to unlock a weapon after 250 wins. And also, each class you can then upgrade. You gain experience in while using it. And that gives you different stats. Now, if you look when the stream catches up, you'll see how like my thief has a little 34 over it, and like my tide caller has nothing over it. That's because I've never used tide caller, so I've never gained any XP in it. Whereas thief, I've been using quite a bit, so I'm level 34. The only way to get XP in that class is to use a weapon, and to use a weapon, which then gives you experience into whatever class it is. So like
Yeah, basically
I
you
have
to have your hero on your team when is what you mean when you say you have to have a weapon. It's the hero has to be on the team to get
right, yeah, that's
to
the
get
way
champion
to play it.
XP.
So that's like I have Mountain Crusher. That's basically the only thing I've been using on any team, because it just works so well with what I have.
Yeah, you see what you see. I noticed that you were talking about Mountain Crusher on the last stream, and you were like, "Oh, I don't see the big deal," but you do see the big deal now that you've used
Oh my
it. I
god,
assume,
it's
'cause-
incredible.
Mhm.
And like I've been putting all of my ingots into this thing to try to upgrade it, and I've got all
Yeah,
but the
it's
last
very good.
one upgrade. Like mine's +8 right now. I need 3 more legendary ingots, and then I'll have the last one.
Nice.
Although that's not necessarily the best. Actually, let me ask this question. I see things that say like for Mountain Crusher, it says give all brown allies 2 mana. Does that
Yeah.
include would that include my hero himself, or is that literally just the other 3?
That's a good question. I think it includes the hero, but I might not.
I would assume it includes itself. It
answer.
says all allies.
Does it use brown mana?
Yes.
Sometimes it says other allies.
So
Yeah. If
Yeah, I think unless it says other allies, it should apply to the caster.
okay, that's what I was wondering because the Dragon Soul troop, his first trait is allied dragons gain.
Yeah, Carnage says that he believes it's all four as well, and he
Okay.
is the authority.
This is a total aside, but I feel like we're running like a telethon here. The guild is up to 18,400 seals. Just another 1,600. You can start opening those chests.
All right, let me see if I can collect any.
So, for those who are in the AH101 guild and listening to this, please hop on and collect
55
your
more.
seals.
Oh man, I'll have to see if I can make like an tracker next time we do a stream. I can sit there manually just update it as we're going.
Oh, wait, can you go back real quick? I just wanted, I know we're talking about 100 things, but I also want to talk about, as we're talking about basic team building, especially for people real new, the importance of banners. Banners matter.
Oh my god,
banners
yes it does.
banners. They don't matter
They're
as
a
much
very-
as some people
They're a very
think, but
simple thing you can do, though, that can help you out. And you don't
Yeah.
need to do anything specific to earn them, like, outside of the course of just playing.
yeah, you do
Other
need to
people,
unlock the banners, but after
Right.
that, it's there's no reason not to use them.
How do you unlock the banners?
When you buy the
therefore,
kingdom.
each kingdom and each underworld faction has its own banner. I
Okay.
think it's just unlocking them when you get the banner.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
easy.
when you buy them, it unlocks.
So,
Right, so
Alright,
if you're
just
able to see
I got
those...
Cedric Sparkle Sack.
Oh,
Nice.
congratulations.
Woohoo.
Nice job. I need that damn thing.
It was my last key. I was like, oh, okay, let's go for it.
Here we
I had
go.
to jump in. Sorry, Michelle.
No, that's okay. That we're sharing
that's
our
worth
successes,
celebrating.
Too.
And hopefully,
that we're-
hopefully the guild can hit 20,000 seals while we're on this
Right,
stream
Saucy,
too.
you
I'm
only
going.
have 400 seals so far, so you alone can make it happen.
I'm going.
Do it.
All right.
Have you collected your
I did-
seals recently?
I did. Yeah, I collected earlier today at the beginning of the stream. Claiming some more right now. Let's see. 70 guilds.
but-
There you go.
heck yeah.
So you can see with the banner, you will see up to 3 different types of mana that are on there. But anything that has double plus or plus, that means you're going to get more of that mana. If there's a minus, you're going to get less of that. So just if you're building a troop that has no green teams, for example, find a banner that gives you a negative on the green but buffs the other 2 so you can build up your magic faster.
Right. So the banner I have selected, because I want Mountain Crushers all the time, I constantly want to get his. So I selected the Slayer banner because it gives me +2 in the black, and in purple, Azura and Dragon Soul both have purple, so it's like, oh, I'll select that. So when I match purples, I get extra. And since I have no troops that have yellow mana, I might as well use this, since who cares if I get less mana in yellow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's exactly the idea.
Yeah, that's a good banner choice for that one because you're using Mountain Crusher to destroy the board to generate mana for your other troops.
Right. And also, Mountain Crusher, I have an ability on it, or I've unlocked an ability on it, to where when I use it, it summons a what is it, Dust Storm? Yeah, it summons a Dust Storm, so more black mana fall. So then it's just like, oh, so now I can use Mountain Crusher even more. And
black.
brown,
Brown mana.
brown, it's black. That is black.
I want some black, man.
That looks black
I
to me.
immediately thought Poop Storm, but
Sounds right to me.
I don't know why I thought Dust Storm was yellow, man. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
No,
a
that's Light Storm.
I think my son had a poop storm in the bathtub earlier.
well, that's disgusting.
Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
It's just everyone who talks about their kids, like that's like the one thing. It's just like, oh, look at this picture of there's just poo everywhere. It's just like, oh, I don't want kids now. That's
I
disgusting.
do not take pictures of it. I was merely telling you that my son pooped in the bathtub earlier.
Because I have weird friends. Let's just continue back to gems. We'll talk about this later.
I think are we ready to go to delves and really dive
I
into
hope.
delves now that we're 2 hours
Yeah,
into
that's
this?
what
Alright,
I want to hear
Let's
about.
delve into
Alright.
the delves. Okay. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Let's just start with the City of Thieves. I selected City of Thieves. Let's
Let's look at the information screen first and kind of break those down again because we lightly touched them last week or last time.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably the best way to start. As soon as the stream catches up. My internet hurts.
I think I just completed The Walking Dead while we were doing this.
This has been a very long stream.
Congratulations.
So you're
Thank
saying
you,
you're
the,
not paying attention, huh?
I have to click a button once in a while when I die. The 400 pointer one, might I point out.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Classic.
Which, okay, you know what? Let me complain to Sarah. Let me yell at you for a second. So, and this is also an FYI for anyone who wants to buy things on the Microsoft Store. Apparently, anything that's backwards compatible, you cannot use Microsoft Rewards to buy.
Yes, you can. You have to go on the 360 itself.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm on the Xbox One buying, oh, look, a 400-point game. Let me buy this. And then I'm like, okay, I buy that. Then, okay, I go to the next one. I buy that game. And then my phone goes off saying, my PayPal app going, you just paid Microsoft X amount of dollars. You just paid Microsoft X amount of dollars. I'm like, wait, what? I have Microsoft Rewards. Why am I using my actual money to buy these stupid games? So now I have virtual, what is it? Virtual Troopers OT
That's
or
what I was gonna
whatever.
ask you, what did you buy?
I have that. I just spent $5 on that damn game. I'm like, I don't want this game. This is stupid. It's for this stupid contest because of Sarah. I just
Well,
wasted
now you get
$10.
50 cents back. You get 50 cents back on that purchase, though.
Yes.
I don't want to waste my actual money. That's what the Microsoft Rewards points are for.
The question is, have
I
you
was so
played
pissed
the
off when I
game
saw
yet?
that. Yes, I mean
You-
I played the 2 games I bought, but that's not the point.
Okay.
If it wasn't for your damn challenge, I wouldn't have wasted my money.
All right, so you're not enjoying my challenge then?
As of right now, no.
Oh. Well then.
I was saying, Michelle, do you have better thoughts about the challenge so far?
I partnered well. Chesno's going nuts, so it's leaving me to play a lot of Gems of War, so that's good. But,
Chesno went bonkers last month too.
Chesno is very competitive. I have some plans for a couple games. I played a lot of Xbox Live Arcade games like back in the day. Those were my thing. So while there are still games out there for me to play, most of the sub 1000 games, like I played the ones I was interested in. I was really into all that, like all those Summer of Arcade games and all them. Like I have them and I've either completed them or got as much as I'm going to get out of them. So it's tough because without buying brand new games, there's really not a lot I have in my backlog that I can work on.
All right. So back to Gems of War, and
Yes.
enough talking about Sarah's stupid challenge that makes people waste money. City of Thieves, the info screen, all that garbage. What you're gonna say before?
Okay, so see where it says your faction renown, showing that you have 60 in there.
Yes.
Okay, so your max renown you can get in one faction is 2,500,
Okay.
and that is how it is broken down. So you can get up to 1,000 points for your best delve, and the highest you can go is level 500. Then you can get additional 500 points for your best delve with no casualties, again up to level 500. And same thing with best using a faction team only. So you have to use the troops that are specific for that faction. So like, remember how we were looking at King Gobtruffle earlier?
Yes.
That Amatherax Kingdom, that is a faction troop for that one. And then Oh, you bumped screams there. Then your treasure hoard level, which I was hoping you had some spare gold so I could show you how that worked. You can level that up to level 100, and that will give you 500 points there.
Okay.
So, just as a
Whoa,
point of clarification.
someone's TV's super loud.
Ah, shit, Elsie.
Oh, I
boy.
gotta go. El's here.
So just as a point of clarification, I know Wu had clarified for this in the chat. You do not need to use the Delve faction team all the way up in the Delves. They just have to be used
Oh
in the
no,
last
that
Delve,
would be
and-
horrible.
Yeah,
Yes.
so don't that actually is what held me up for a long time, is I thought you needed to use the Delve faction team all throughout. I'm like, they're mostly terrible. But that is not the case. You just have to get to 500, which is you're better off doing with any other troops that you find suitable to get there, and then just
Yes.
replay that last Delve with the faction team.
Yes, that is a very good point of clarification. And when we get to spending the shards, I will probably add another point of clarification.
Okay.
Now, over on the right, where under total renown, it says like +1 life when you have 4,000 renown. And I'm echoing in someone's. Sorry.
I think you're echoing off of L, actually.
Come on now.
L.
It's not me.
Elle, you don't even like
What's
Gems of
happening
War.
before
Why are you
got
here?
I,
I
just wanted to
must
make
say-
fun of you people for playing this instead of Jackbox. Come on, guys.
I
going
must
on
say, I
here?
loved Vulgar's impression of you. That was spot on.
That was pretty
do you mean?
fantastic.
It
What do you
really
mean, guys?
was.
You guys could be playing for fun, not achievements, guys. Come on.
Player games.
What
Wow,
do you
you
mean?
sound just like L.
All right.
He
So,
left.
Kenny, you're starting to say about the total renown on the right side of the screen.
Hang on one sec. I'm changing the party
Sure.
options.
Are you just blocking L?
No, I'm not blocking him yet. Okay, how do I turn...
I love the scrunch-eyed look. I do that as well.
Sorry, my eyes are so tired right now. This is not helping. There it goes. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Alright, so let's go back to let's stream this again. I'm not gonna lie, I actually forget that I have that. Okay, so we're back. Upcoming rewards, when I have 4,000 renown, I get +1 life. Is
Yes.
that per...
That's permanent, yes.
And is that similar to what
Or
you
no.
get from the kingdoms, where that's +1 to every troop?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly
Wow.
the same. That's basically the kingdom skill.
Well, what I
for
meant is,
underworld
like,
stuff.
is that for... Is the total renown, is this for just this kingdom, or just this faction, or is it for all of them?
It's all of them.
Okay. So, like, each one, I'll get, like, +1 and something. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. The left
you'll
side
plus-
is this specific faction. The right side is putting everything together.
Gotcha.
So
And that +1 life is for all of your troops.
Okay, so I need 4,000 from all of the
Everything.
factions.
Mm-hmm.
right, because
Gotcha.
the max in a faction is 2,500. You want to be able to do
Oh,
that with
right,
one
right.
faction.
Yeah, duh. That's obvious. Or that's duh. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else with the faction info, or where should I go next?
So I know you've already opened up some stuff in this one with your shards. So let's see if we can try to get you that King Gob truffle.
Okay.
So let's go to your Amethyrax kingdom. And so this is the point of clarification I was going to point out. So whatever kingdom you use and open your shards on, or open your portals, you have a chance of getting that faction's troops.
Okay.
So if you open them in City of Thieves, you're only going to get City of Thieves troops.
That makes sense.
So if you open up your shards or open up your portals in the Amethyrax, you can still get the treasures, but you're going to get those I am slaughtering that kingdom name.
A mana.
It's on the left side. Yes.
Down one. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, anywhere you open your portals, you have a chance of getting treasures, but you're only going to get troops from the faction that you're opening up in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'd like to hear more about the farming and upgrading your chests, as we go through this.
Yep, we can get to that next.
So there's really no reason why I shouldn't just put all my shards into this right now to try to get King Mushroom Head, right?
As you call him,
King
yeah,
Mushroom
Pat,
Head.
yes.
That's his new name. I like that better than God Truffle. All right, so let's see if I get him.
It's everlasting gob truffle.
That's okay. That's also
Because
good.
2 of him and then the turnip, you just loop forever.
That's a true
Yeah, I'm
story.
just-
I get beat by that a lot.
I'm just figuring this out now, and it is glorious.
Where do you get the
that's
mushroom?
my main. The turnip?
Just so,
Or turnip? Not mushroom, turnip.
I think that was during an event or something.
It's
Of
craftable in the Soul Forge. It eventually comes back around. I think Awu said earlier it's like a 16-week rotation or something, but I don't know if that was just troops or
I didn't say.
if that's weapons. Oh,
I don't
I thought
know.
somebody did.
It's a rotation, but it's I don't know if it's 16 weeks. I mean, it grows obviously every
Yeah.
time they release new things, so it's never
Yeah.
the same.
Every week's a new kingdom.
But it will
Wait, did he
eventually
get
show
it?
back up in the Soul Forge.
Yeah, whenever they do
Yeah.
the Zygen kingdom, it'll be there probably.
Okay.
let's see here. Did he get his King Mushroom Head?
I saw a genie's lamp, which was the only legendary thing I saw. I didn't notice if he got the King Gob Truffle. So there are no mythic pulls in Delve portal in the
No,
portals,
not
right? They're-
aside. There's a mythic
Okay.
treasure item, but there's no mythic actual faction troops.
Yeah. Is there legendary troops?
Yes.
Yes,
And which is
King
what
Gob
he's going for right
Truffles.
now.
Okay.
King
So
King
Carnage
Mushroom
is
Head.
just saying that that he uses Gob Truffle in his Guild Wars teams as well.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is actually one of the best troops in the game. Ken, you got 3 more to go. No whammies, come on.
Yeah.
Aw.
Kenny doesn't know what no whammies is.
I know what no whammies is. I pressed my
No
luck.
whammies, no whammies.
Okay, so let's go back to your City of Thieves.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can level your treasure. Because the
So why
higher
are
your treasure level, the better higher level treasure you'll get when you complete your delve.
Okay.
So why are you saying to go back to City of Thieves instead of leveling up the
Amethyrax.
horde in Amanithrax?
Because the City of Thieves is his grind delve.
Why don't you explain why City of Thieves is grind and you don't level up everything else?
So, for the long-term progression in this game, you want to keep a delve purposely at its lowest level, so that way you can do quick grinds, and that is the quickest way to get your shards. So you can open up the treasures for your other kingdoms. Is that a good way to phrase it, Awu?
Yeah, I should clarify with that as well how
Okay.
important it is to not mess that up and accidentally well, there are a number of factions that are good farming factions if you keep them at 20, but if you go above 20, the way delve levels work is that you can't just like go back down to like a lower level. If you level up a delve, it'll stay permanently leveled up, so you won't be able to do the lower levels anymore. So you want to be careful. You want to pick one early on and just basically never do higher level delves in that one. The City of Thieves is a good one because it has 9 rooms. First of all, not every delve has the same amount of rooms per delve, so more rooms is more rewards, and also some delves just have better quality rooms overall. And City of Thieves is also good in that regard.
And if you do want to do quick ones, it's only a string of 3 if you want to finish it quickly.
Yeah, 3 including the boss. Yeah.
So after Kenny upgrades the horde here, you're gonna go into something about. Are you gonna take some time to explain about the troop restrictions that exist in delves?
It's
That's
not a
very.
huge restriction. I mean, it's colors,
It is a
but
huge restriction, but it's very simple.
Yeah.
It just
Right.
restricts
Yeah, I just
the
think for
color.
someone who's new to it, they might not be
Yeah, every
super familiar.
every faction has two colors, and you can only use troops that have one of those colors in them. In their mana.
What is Carnage referring to? It does let you do 50 now on any, though. They did add that recently, but still won't be as fast as 20, like they said.
I don't know. Do they let you go back down to 50?
I think
even
they
though you
did for
have-
ones that you got up to 500. I think they let you drop down and do it at 50.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
So
Oh, yeah,
can
he
you
won't
go
be able
back
to upgrade the Horde because he has no gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he spent his gold. So, but if you go over to the upgrade tab, Kenny.
Yep.
So as you add treasure, you want to make sure you have a very high chance of upgrading your quality of treasure. That's what you want to focus on right now. Because again, the higher quality treasure you have, the more rewards you'll get when you finish each of your delves. So if you add like your genie's lamp and your king's crown, you'll see those percentages go up. And that percentage is equal to that 5, 10, 20, 25% you're seeing on your screen there for each of those.
Right.
And you can add up to 5 treasures at a time. So if you were to pay that 4,000 right now, you'd have a 70% chance, which I would not do it at that low of a chance.
So I can actually fail upgrading.
Yes.
Okay, so in
Yeah.
other words, I'm never actually going to do this with under 100% chance. I'll just wait.
Yeah, there's an optimal way to do this. I can post this in the chat later. There's a very a clear optimal way to allocate your treasures, because what she's not told you is that the higher your normal level of horde gets, like you can see that no matter what, your level will always go up when you put things in. Even if you fail the upgrade, your level will still go up. And the higher your level, the higher the gold cost of upgrading it further.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely want to get those quality upgrades like as early on as possible, so you don't have to spend as much gold. Because trust me, that it ramps up really fast. Like it can cost a lot of money to get faction hordes.
Yeah,
up.
it gets very expensive. I was hoping Kenny wasn't going to spend all of his gold. He kind of went off the rails there a minute, and
Well, I can do a delve real quick and get some
Mhm.
gold.
but no, I was hoping you could upgrade your quality level, but
So
it's not a-
while I was
not a lot of
flipping through the screens, I saw that the max level that you can get is 1,000, and the max quality you can get is 10. So if I were to add treasure right now, I spent 3,200 gold. I would go to quality level 2 and level 32 on my level, and then I would get those bonuses while delving in City of Thieves. Correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
all of it is exclusive to the faction you're in.
Okay. So if I now just for and I can just tab open and it automatically gives me. Holy crap! That is amazing bonuses.
Yeah, you can see like the future bonuses as well if you keep scrolling. Stream isn't updating, but I assume that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, and that was one thing I saw, that, if you were to get Horde level to 1,000, that it's giving
Oh,
you several
yeah,
hundred
but-
in
yeah,
each.
good luck with that.
Believe me, the highest you'll ever see is like 100, 150. You will never ever go above 200. I don't think. I don't have
Yeah,
anything above
no
150.
offense, Kenny, you're not going to get there for a while.
Oh, I know. I can only imagine how much it's going to take to get there, so I don't much care. It's just
Yeah.
fun to look at, see 1,000, which I'll go back. I'll do 1,000 real quick while we're talking about it for anyone that's watching the screen. It's just fun to see. It's like, oh, I'm at level 1,000. I get plus 90 magic, plus 182 attack, 364 life, and 363 armor. Like, that's just madness.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing way too much if you got those levels.
I imagine.
Is that what you have, Facial?
Oh hell no. I know I get to like 120 maybe, and then I use the event potions to get all my troops up to like stats of 1,000 or whatever.
Yeah, I understand. I see that, J Black. That you
But
can
that
use 5 charges
that
at once.
costs a lot of gems though.
Yeah, I think the audio is cutting out in and out a bit, Carnage.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet's. I'm having all kinds of internet issues. There's like a
Kenny
thunderstorm.
has a
and
lot of issues.
There's like a thunderstorm and it's messing everything up. I'm paying Verizon extra money for no reason apparently tonight.
I'll take a thunderstorm over a snowstorm, which I have.
Well, I got no snow this year, so that I take a snowstorm right now. Okay, so I can't upgrade my horde. I might as well do some delves.
Yep.
So let's delve into City of Thieves.
I think Thursday's gonna be Sea of Sorrow too, if you like want to save up for that.
I don't even
What
know
do
what
you
that
mean?
is.
Well, the underground faction that will be in the faction assault will be Sea of Sorrow on Thursday.
Okay.
Tuesday. But okay.
Tuesday?
Wait.
It's always Tuesday.
Faction and Adventure on
It is
Tuesdays.
Tuesday. It is Tuesday.
Today is
Okay.
Friday. I was like, what are you talking about?
Awoo's like 6 hours
Saucy,
ahead
you're
of us.
causing an echo of some sort with your mic, by the way.
I had it muted. That's weird. Let me try again.
Darn it, Saucy. You're as bad as hell.
Tuesday.
Facial, do you know what day of the week it is currently?
Well, it's Friday, but generally I don't.
Well, for people in quarantine, it doesn't much matter, apparently.
He lives in California. You have to excuse him.
Oh, who cares then?
Yeah.
Damn Californians. Come on. All right.
I think Carnage is right. I think his internet is slow because he is downloading ridiculous amounts of porn.
Probably, why will you just out me like that? That ain't cool. What if Brooke is watching this? That is a lie, Brooke. Don't listen to Carnage. He's New York. You can't trust him.
Are you saying New Yorkers watch a lot of porn?
He's saying we can't be
Yes.
trusted.
I was gonna say I
Oh.
don't know how you got that. I was confused myself. Like what? I
So
thought I
something
said,
on a very basic level with delves, you can only play 3 delves a day,
Right.
because you only get the 3 delve tokens, and that's it. There's
Mhm.
no way to ever play more than that, other than I guess someone had mentioned before you can start a delve but not play it at that time, so you can come back to it later. But save for doing that, like that's it, just the 3 a day. So when you talk about getting to like a level 500 delve, you're talking about you are time locked many days before you can actually do that, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Outside
except
oh god, I do.
the
outside of the
events.
events, yeah.
That's insane.
And how do
Which
the
means-
events affect things?
The events, well,
You can spend
they
diamonds
just
to
give
buy
you a lot of
potions.
sigils, which are play tokens for.
Wait, what are
events.
sigils? Oh, the sigils are the
A-
tokens
a-
you use
a-
to play.
Yeah, a token for a delve. And then you can, well, it's like any other event where you can also get sigils from killing Val Ravens if they show up. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason a lot of people choose to try to get like max renown from faction during a delve, because you can do it all at once, and you also get potions like any other event, which boost your troops' skills.
How do you
Which
get
makes
the
it a
potions?
lot easier. From the shop in the event, you have to pay.
Mhm.
gems.
Yeah,
Those
you
are
have to
gems,
spend
right?
gems to get them. Sorry, I may have said diamonds. I meant gems. I apologize.
Yes,
That's okay.
some of the factions, the level 500 faction only troop runs are so insanely hard that you pretty much have to do them in events.
And
So-
J Black makes a good point. Like delve, within the course of a delve, your troop death is quote unquote permanent. So you won't lose that troop forever and ever. Like you could still use it elsewhere, but for the rest of your delve run, that troop is out. And I think it's the
Right.
Yeah.
same if there's any enemy you're against that does a status effect that moves a troop from bottom position to top position, that troop will remain in the top position for the remainder of the delve.
I
as
Yeah,
well.
it's
hate
so annoying.
that
Yeah.
so much.
Yes, it is so
Struck a nerve.
annoying.
And something else when you're doing the delves, whenever you defeat a room, there's some sort of effect gets applied to all the rest of the rooms. And
Yes,
so it's
positive or negative. Yeah, you want to show them a preview of that?
yeah, one's
Mhm.
up here in just a second. And like it's good to do the rooms in a certain order. So like one of the purple rooms, it gives I forget what it just said, but it gives like let's say +4 attack to everything to all future enemies. I probably don't want to do that first of all, or I don't want to do that room first because then all the rooms after that are just that much more difficult. But now, like for instance, this one that's up on the screen now, where it's immune to poison, disease, and death mark. Who cares? I don't do. My particular team doesn't do any of those, so that's not even an effect. In all honesty, I probably should have started with that, since it's not actually going to hurt me any in the long run.
And once you get really strong teams, it honestly won't matter what order you go in.
Yeah,
When
there are
grinding on level
like,
20.
On strong event or delve teams, I should say, there are very few of those effects that actually matter. There's one that makes the enemy team submerged. That one is pretty annoying, but other than that, it's like
Yeah, see, some
really no big deal. Once you have a delve team set up.
Holy hell, that's a lot of skulls.
Regarding losing a troop during a delve, I don't know if it's just me, but this has happened a few times where I had a troop that would spawn a certain type of unit, and if it spawned the same kind of unit that was killed, I was still getting credit for not losing any.
Yeah,
units.
if any troop gets replaced at all, that counts as a death for any reason.
Well, that sucks.
As far as the getting the no death renown bonus goes.
Yeah. But I've had at least twice that I know for sure where it still credited me for not losing anybody.
That has
Oh, you
changed
have?
recently
I see.
because
Oh,
did they change that?
Thomas did this last week, and his got replaced with another one, and he still got the credit for a
Oh, okay.
no casualty delve.
Alright. They probably changed that with the Werewoods one where they always have troops getting replaced, actually. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Except-
And that's also an achievement to go through without dying. But I got that achievement already.
Braggart.
I would say hashtag humble brag. Or not so humble brag.
I actually didn't even know that was an achievement. It just popped up. It's like, oh, neat.
Did you ever get your 505 achievement?
Oh my god, no. I can't get it. It's so annoying. And what's even worse is Michelle was asking me questions last night about how that works. And I'm like, oh yeah, you do this and you do that. And then like literally like 2 minutes later, she's like, oh, got my achievement. It's like, oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you traded your egg thief team, you might have better luck.
It is
That's-
traded.
I had just
Fully
gotten
tra-
enough to fully trait what I needed to, and that's what made the difference for me.
Yeah, I need trade stones for sparkle sack. My sparkle sack needs to be more sparkly.
You know, I
He needs
don't
deeper
have
money bags.
I don't have full traits for him, but he's not as necessary for the 505 achievement. I think fully trading him makes him better for like a general troop usage, but for 505, it's really all about egg thief more than anything. Like once you have the max amount of gold you can have in the game, it's just about spamming that one.
Yeah.
No.
And I just
Egg
have
Thief
not been able to
maxes
get it.
out without having the extra gold bonus. If you have 100
Mhm.
gold, it still, I think, maxes out. As in, it explodes the whole board. You can't get better than that.
Right.
Or not explodes, destroys.
Yeah,
Shouldn't say
And
explode.
it's not like the whole board, so you can't go against a troop that's too easy because you'll kill them too fast. But if you go against one of a reasonable difficulty, it'll last. The game will last long enough for you to get what you need to get done.
Mhm.
Oh, and Carnage is suggesting to use 2 egg thieves for the 505 achievement.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that.
And J Black is bragging that it took him 2 tries.
Screw you, J Black.
I'm gonna throw in a brag that I earned it on a battle I actually lost in.
Hashtag humble brags all around. Yeah, it's like I've tried about 15 times, so I just can't get it. Just won't. I don't know.
I would say we can go around the circle and all share our 505 experiences or getting the achievement.
Well, it does have a progress bar, so you can tell how close you were.
Does that
I was
progress
just
bar update during the match, though? I kind of
No.
felt
I think
the
it
impression
updates
only
after the
updated
match.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the annoying part.
Because I
about it.
remember first time I tried playing around with it, I got like 97.
I think I just did it with 4 forest trolls, I think, or something like that. Just creating greens nonstop, but not damaging the enemy at all.
I say keep these stories going. Rub the salt in Kenny's wounds about how everybody else has the 505.
All right, well the stream's done. Thanks everyone for watching. All right, last battle.
So does anybody from the chat, or I guess sitting in the party, have any questions that we have not addressed yet?
We got to give the chat like a good 30 seconds to catch up to hearing us, but
I guess what's the best soul farming team that you use?
That's a good question.
Dragon Soul, Warlock.
Yeah, that's the super basic one that I used for a very long time as well. Before I got any Pharos, Ras.
Yeah, pre-Pharos Ra, that is definitely what I used for a very long time.
was Pharos Ra or is Pharos Ra a craftable troop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
That would
not
explain why I
he is like
recognize
on
him.
the rotation though, so you do have to wait, but
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, that
Not
web
a
is
good
so
mythic, I
annoying.
wouldn't say, but definitely a necessary one for soul farming.
I just thought I'd add that Alex has also never failed the 505.
Well, I don't much care.
I hope the next time we all sit down to do this, you'll have your own success story to share with us.
Well, now I
Or
definitely am.
actually, more accurately, I kind of hope you don't, because it's far more entertaining this way.
I think you should just keep the stream going until you get it.
Oh, so once you're done with your
I
delve,
like that idea.
we'll just leave Kenny here to figure that out.
I'll
And
stay
to
with
collect
you,
guild
Kenny.
seals.
That's
Collecting your
okay, the
guild
long-
seals, Saucy.
I'm here till 7 a.m., so I'll stay up with you, Kenny.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
I am not staying up to 7 a.m. playing it. Oh, my God.
No, I need him to play more Gems of War, so he's playing less than 1K games. So
Yeah, I got you, Kenny. I'll stay up with you. You
God.
got this.
That's
Stream it. I'll
another
make sure you get
7
it.
hours of
Yep.
gems. My eyes are already it's already a little on fire.
I
I'm
don't
gonna be
mind.
dead.
I'll do it because that's how good of a G-Task team member I am to you. Okay.
Okay.
and he's playing less sub 1K games. He is focused on gems, so that's good with me.
Eep.
So Carnage notes that Pharos was just in the last week's rotation or so it'll probably be a while until he comes
Yeah,
back around.
that's true.
Yay.
And J Black is asking whether or not you should use the Soul Forge to upgrade trait stones.
Oh, you mean to craft trait
Mm.
stones? Doing low level explorers, you can get trait
Yeah.
stones fairly easily.
I'd say only if you need like 1 or 2 to finish off powering up something that's gonna benefit you.
Yeah, the only ones I craft on occasion are the celestial ones because they've made those kind of harder to get now.
What did they change to make them harder to get?
I think they used to drop more in the old like Explorer before they changed it to the new.
Okay.
Or at least that's
I
how
have-
I feel. Like I feel like I've been
No,
getting fewer.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. I've actually ran out for the first time.
Yeah,
Humble
and you
brag.
need them to craft mythics, so that's usually why I make them.
Okay, so any reason why I should not upgrade my horde right now. As soon as the stream catches up.
Oh, do you have enough
Um,
gold now?
Yeah, I've got 22,000 gold.
Oh, sweet. Let's get you some. Get your quality up.
So I have 3 King's Crown
Uh,
and 1 Genie's Lamp selected right now, and to get me to 100%. Should I use
Awu, do
a
you want to give
different
him
variation?
the optimal path?
I don't have it on hand, and it includes like sacred treasures and stuff. I'm pretty sure. So
Oh,
So
Yeah,
I don't
so-
have any sacred treasure. So should I just use what I have to
yeah,
now
there's no,
since
there's
I'm at
no harm in
100%?
it, I wouldn't
I say I
like-
think he's good to upgrade. Like I definitely have not followed an optimal path,
the
but I've
idea
got there
is to
slowly but
upgrade.
surely.
Yeah, the idea is like as far as like optimally upgrading it is to get the level up as little as possible while also upgrading the quality level, because that means you're gonna have to spend less gold. Because the higher the level gets, the more gold it costs to put anything into it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Um,
Yeah, and Carnage is saying good to upgrade, so let's add some treasure.
yeah, but it's fine. Yeah, you don't need to worry about it right now.
That's good because I already hit A.
Yay! You have level 2 quality treasure. You could probably easily make that level 3 as well.
Let's do it.
Wow, that was a really powerful echo.
Yeah. Holy hell, let's not do it. Yeah, that really did just jump up in price. Went
We're
from
waiting
yeah,
for it to
this is-
catch up.
That's why level up 1000 is a bit out of reach, because the goal just goes so crazy so quickly.
yeah, that's kind of insane. I don't by any chance you don't by any chance know what it is offhand. Like, I imagine
No, it's
someone
just
in the
a lot.
world has 1,000.
Yeah, probably Jeff.
There's no
that
real
jerk.
reason why you would ever do that unless you're like really struggling with the faction 500 on or something like that. But even then,
I'm not sure if anybody would actually have it at 1,000. Like, I just can't even fathom the amount of gold it would take.
I'm sure someone from like the Mad Gang or a guild like that has done it just to.
Or
Just to
my
be.
guild arch nemesis, the Guild of Thieves.
Just a massive flex to have 1,000.
Yeah. No, people flex a lot in this game. You should see the leaderboards for the events. Like,
Yes.
Okay. Wait, how did my renown just go to 220? Oh, that's right, because horde level. Nice.
yeah.
Yep.
You get renown up until level 100.
I believe as you increase renown too, if you check your mail, you get chaos shards.
Yes, you get
um,
little bonuses of
yeah.
shards and ingots.
Yeah, that's one thing that I do also want to start to focus on. Like, I'm probably going to stop grinding on just City of Thieves and kind of spread the delves out. Because, like, if I were to get to at least, like, 1,000 renown, I start getting one random ingot a day. Like, that's amazing.
Well, the ingot's
And
pretty much always going to be like a really low tier one, though, so it's not that
Oh.
great, like the daily ones. And
Mhm.
honestly, grinding one faction, you're going to get a ton of legendary and mythic ingots.
Oh, okay.
I know Sarah knows this as well, just how like quickly your inventory of legendary and mythic ingots fill up once you start doing the elves. Like,
Yes.
you will run
I-
out of weapons to upgrade quickly. Like,
Actually, speaking of which, I just got 3.
So, Carnage just throws his hat in to say nobody has 1,000. Highly doubted. But Alex has a question specifically for Sarah, but then for anybody. Sarah, what percentage of your total gaming time do you reckon you spend on Gems of War, and can anyone else here top your figure?
man, yes.
So I know on the last podcast I was on, or the kind of podcast before I was on, Kenny had looked up our hours, and Carnage
Yep.
has me beat by about 5-fold.
Yeah.
I probably spend realistically about 30 to 40 minutes a day playing this game. So, and I have approximately about 2 hours to game after my baby goes to bed and still get a reasonable amount of sleep for work. So, yeah, I'd say probably right now it consumes 40 to 50% of my gaming time. But when you look in the weekends, it's not as lopsided.
What about you, Awu? What would you say?
Um, a lot. I don't know. My gaming time in this game is very corrupted. Like it says something like 3,000 hours, but there's so much idling where I just sit on the game while I'm doing something on my computer just to claim the tribute every hour. So
that makes
it
sense.
adds up quickly like that as well. So it's really hard to tell how much time I actually put into this game.
Yeah, when I was on the podcast, Michelle had about 550 hours. Sarah had 1,200, and Carnage had like 5,000, and I had like 120 or so.
I would say, and I'd lean on Awu and Sarah to kind of see if this commentary is correct or if it's misguided. You're going to spend more time on the game early on because there's so much early on stuff to do, and it's overwhelming. You're going to have all the kingdoms, you're going to have all the different Delve
Yes.
factions, you're going to have all these different quests you're first learning about. There's eventually a tipping point, and it's many, many hours in, so not to understate it, but there's eventually a tipping point where you really do log in every day. Adventure board, Delve, dungeon, some guild tasks, and you're out. It takes a while
Yep.
to get there.
That all depends. Like that's true to an extent. Depends on how you play the game. If you're in a very competitive guild, then you're always gonna have a lot to do. And if you're working towards Jeff, you're always gonna have a lot to do.
Yes, and I am not in a crazy competitive guild. I do have, certain expectations I have to meet to stay in my guild, but I can still maintain my guild minimums
Yeah.
and make
A lo-
decent progress in the game by playing about a half hour a day. I'm in that maintenance mode, as almost Michelle referred to. Like, I'm in that tipping point. I think to answer Alex's question, it's taken me about 3 to 4 years to get to this point.
Yeah, Carnage says there's always classes to work on as well. Yeah, the class grind is absurd to say the least. If you want to get every class up to 100, it's like literally hundreds of thousands of battles, I think.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
And I just want to get all my weapons unlocked. Like, I'm good with that. Like, Awu and Carnage are like on a next level compared to me. I feel like I'm kind of in that upper middle kind of point of the curve, but they're like top notch.
Right, you're at that point where you're probably better than most people you know, but not better than the top people.
Yes.
Sarah's top 2%. Carnage and Awu's
Right.
top 1.
Or
They're
top
like,
fraction of one.
yeah, they're like the top 1%. I'd probably put myself in like in the top 10%.
That's why having Sarah and Awu, and if we get Carnage in here, it's like the holy trinity of the AH101 community in here talking about gems.
And we
So
definitely appreciate
Alex-
you guys making the time to come here and speak with us about it. Especially, I know
100%.
this isn't like anywhere near your normal time zone. It's like the middle of the night. So,
Yeah, it's 6 a.m. coming up.
oh,
That's when I get up for work. So Alex is actually asking really great questions that we haven't gotten to yet either.
Oh, my bad.
For the first one he asked, it says, "Can you ever imagine stopping playing gems?" And so it's kind of, I don't know, like so many times I just want to quit and be like, no, I don't want to play, but it just keeps pulling you back in. Like, it's fun in its core. Like, it's a game where you can just sit down at the end of the day, just chill. You don't have to play a guide. It's nice. It's, you know, but it's a game where it requires you like to log in each day and do a little bit. Otherwise, to best maximize it. I mean, I did take a break for a while. That's when I joined the AH101 guild for a little bit. And that was actually nice. Like, I did just enough to log in and each day just collect my rewards, and I logged out and maybe did a little bit of the events.
Yes.
What was the other part of his question? I was trying to
Do
find
you
it.
see
Sorry, go
yourself
ahead, Fufu.
stopping?
I just can't. I took a break, but I didn't really fully stop.
There is something stupidly addicting about match 3 games, and I don't know what it is. Like, for the longest time, this was years ago, I loved Candy Crush. Like, I would play it every single day. And I really got to the point, it's like the only way I could stop playing that damn game was to just straight delete it. And I've never gone back. Like, I've never re-downloaded it because it's like, for some reason, match 3s are so addicting. And kind of like what you were saying, where this is just a game that's just so relaxing because it's not intensive. That's why I love this game. Like, I listen to so much music, and I could sit down, put a new CD on for if the CD's 40 minutes, and play this for 40 minutes, get a ton of work done, and I can focus on what I'm listening to. Like, if I'm playing a Call of Duty or a Halo or something, you can't really give 100% of your attention to the CD, which is what I like to do.
I think there's also something to be said about like credit needing to be given to the developer of the game. We've all obviously commented on the Jeff achievement and how stupid it is, but they've done a good job when they've pushed out updates of making achievements that are relatable to that update and that reward people who have been still logging in every day. Frequently when a new patch comes out with new achievements, people who have been staying on top of the game are close to, if not have already done what they need to do to get those achievements and pop them right away. So there's a sense of not wanting to put it down, because when the next patch comes out, you don't want to have to start. You're already prepared if you keep playing through.
That's
You
why
nailed
I started. That is exactly why I started playing it the way I did, because I used to be like just going back every time they made new achievements, but eventually the achievements have become so like you said, they become so dependent on that consistent play that you can't really play this just like going back every time new achievements come out, because you'll always be behind.
Right. I mean, on a very, very basic level, when the game launched, it had an achievement. I believe the highest level achievement in the initial list was 100. And since then, there's been a 250, a 500, and a 1000. And these are still totally attainable. Someone can start the game today. Death Dealer started the game 3 days ago. She'll have level 1000 in like a month and a half because of the way she plays games.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But
And then it'll take another year for 1100.
but right, but
And Kenny will
play,
hit
but
500 next year.
Hey.
But if you started at launch and you logged in every day and played, when that level 1000 achievement came out, it popped as soon as you loaded up the game that day.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah,
no wasted motion in playing gems. Everything's contributing to something that you need somewhere.
Which
Yeah.
They just
does not
released
help with
that,
the
the social items achievement I saw on TA. People were commenting like, "Oh, I've been playing this for ages and I don't have this," or like it's just one of those achievements. Like it's really hard to do now if you don't have. It's so time gated with those social. I mean, some people here probably don't even know what the social items are, but don't need to get into that right now. Like stuff like that, it's like you have to play the game consistently. You have to do events. You pretty much have to have a guild as well. Like
Right.
Yeah,
and
mine
back then you
popped
didn't.
in.
Back then, when the game came out, you didn't even have guilds. That wasn't a thing. So there wasn't really that community aspect that there is now either.
Right. There was no underworld.
Which is a big
there was
part of the game
no-
for me. Like I know the people in my guild. We talk a lot. We have a Discord with tons of stuff in it. Like, and the community for this game, like you mentioned, Candy Crush. I think that's a pretty common thing because a lot of the player base in this game is like middle-aged and older. Like, even if you go in global chat, there are so many like older people playing this game. In my guild, I'm 26 and I'm one of the youngest people in there. Like,
That's interesting.
it very much does attract, I think, that Candy Crush crowd, like kind of moving on from that to this.
That's the biggest missed opportunity, in my opinion, with this game is the fact that it does not have, you're not able to play it on a phone and have your progress carry over to your Xbox.
Yeah.
Because it
God, I
is
would love
available
that.
in other places.
It
And
is
if I
on
could play this
xCloud
on
now, but that's still pretty limited.
Right. And if I was able to play this on my phone, I don't know that I'd ever actually boot it up on my Xbox because I would just play it on my
Yeah.
phone in between places, and I can use this like, however many teraflops of power machine that's sitting here to play games that might take better advantage of that than Gems of War.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to say, the developers have also done really good at consistently adding content. Like, this game has not
Yes.
been stale, like, or gotten stagnant. Like,
No,
And
I will definitely give them credit for that because you can compare. This is a gotcha game, if you know what that term means.
Oh, for sure.
At its heart, and a lot of gotcha games die because of mainly because of power creep. I would say, like the community gets so powerful to where any new additions to the game just aren't as exciting. Like this game, they still put out like trash troops essentially every week, but they're still worth getting because of how the game is set up with the progress and everything. So you don't just get stuck like, oh, I have the best troops in the game. There's no reason to play anymore.
Carnage is asking, wait, they added this to xCloud now?
yes, Kenny plays
Yeah,
this
they
game
do.
on his poop breaks at work.
Wait. It's actually xCloud? I was console streaming it.
Oh.
I think it's xCloud. I'm pretty sure someone
Is
in
it
the guild has
really?
been doing it.
Hold it. Okay, let me. I'll give
'Cause
me.
that would change the game for me too.
Hold up. Let me see it. Yeah, I've been
I haven't tried
console
it
streaming,
myself, but I
and
think so.
actual xCloud works so much better than console streaming. Let's see.
I have one last question, and then I'm gonna get going because it's midnight and we've been streaming for 3 hours, and I still got to get an achievement and do all that other stuff. Because we're all beholden to different things. One of the things that I have enjoyed very, very much about Gems of War versus other gacha games is I have actually never ever felt compelled to spend money. I've never felt at any
That
point
too.
where
Yes.
I've been locked behind a time gate. I'm not powerful enough. I need this power up. So I'm curious if any of you guys, and Carnage, if you're listening too, I know you kind of alluded to it, but just to get clarification, have you spent money on this game? Or if you have or haven't, are there things that you have seen that you would advise, what, if you see this come up, that might be worth dropping $5 on it or $10 or whatever it might be?
If I can answer the final point first, there
Sure.
are definitely things that you should buy if they show up. Like they have flash deals you've probably seen. I don't know if these show
Yes.
up for low-level
Yes.
players. I think they do, but
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
do.
sure.
I may or may have
They-
just bought one
Flash
a
deals
few
are
hours ago.
usually a rip-off, like almost always a rip-off. So don't jump on them out of nowhere. But if the only ones that are worth getting are the ones where it's like, oh hey, you're missing this event weapon, buy it for like $5. Some of those event weapons are absolutely worth that.
Huh.
Like
Mhm.
the Doom weapons, especially if you get like Doomed Glaive or Doomed Scythe or any of those, they are 100% worth it. But as far as paying money for the game, that's about as far as it goes. You can buy the Death Knight armor. A lot of people have
That's
that
what I
as
was
like
gonna
their
add.
as like their one-time purchase. It's a pretty big investment. I think is it 49 or 59?
Yeah, I think it's
It's,
50,
it's
$49.99
$50.
in American currency.
Yeah,
Sure that
so
converts
it's like
differently.
it's like a pretty big bulk sum.
Give me one sec, I'll show
but
you the
it's
armor.
so worth it if you intend to play the game long term.
So to answer your question, Michelle, I have never spent a cent on this game.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm one of the few level 1200 plus that have not spent money on this game. Like, not a cent.
Have you put rewards
Yeah.
points into it?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, Carnage.
So
has
you're
level-
VIP level 0?
VIP
I
I
have
think
level
zero.
11.
4, I think,
I have
which is like
VIP.
nothing.
I don't have anything because I literally
Wow.
don't.
That's kind of crazy.
You don't even have free scouting then.
No, like I have nothing.
That's horrible.
That's
So
like, I
That's-
kind
Wait,
of go
I'm
back
just
and
saying-
forth. Go ahead, I'm
I'm
sorry.
proof that you can get all of it without spending a penny.
I go back and forth because I haven't spent a penny either. And that's, again, I think a credit to, I have never felt like I needed to. Every other free to play game I have ever played, I have at some point felt a need to. Whether or not I have is different, but I have felt like, oh, this shortcut would be so worth it. But there's this other part of me that's like, I have played this game for nearly 600 hours now. And I feel like that's how you support the developers, to throw
Mhm.
That's how I
$5 at
I
something
very
or
much do
whatever.
get that feeling in this game where if I'm gonna spend money, it's more for like supporting the
Thank
devs
you.
rather than feeling like
Right.
I like have to.
Mhm.
Although it is tempting at times, but it's not. It's also not as like direct as other gacha games are, where it's like, oh, here, spend money to get more pulls to get this, new troop or whatever. It's not
Right.
Right.
as direct. You kind of have to go buy gems, and it's a bit more.
I think the lack of a very direct PvP component, or the PvP being kind of minimized against all of the not PvP thing you can do, PvP things
Yeah,
you
the
can do, kind
PvP
of
in this game
contributes to that.
is not is very much like it's so not important really that it's not it doesn't feel as competitive. Like Guild Wars is like super competitive, but if you don't do
Yes,
that, then the normal PvP is really kind of doesn't matter that much.
Right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm actually VIP level 3, and I'm about halfway to get to level 4.
Are VIP levels permanent? Like once you've spent, you're always going to maintain that level, or do you have to
Yes.
spend a certain amount of
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Yeah, and it's basically, what was it? I did the math the other day.
25 points for every $5.
Yeah, every
Okay.
so $1 gets you 5 points. What we were talking about before with the armors, as you could see, that I have it up, the Death Knight armor. Actually, can I further zoom? Yeah, here you go. So if you have the Death Knight armor, you get 100% gold, 100% souls, and 100% XP over everything that you do. And like you said, it's $50. With that, you get 250 VIP points, 10 event keys, 20 gem keys, 30 glory keys, and 40 gold keys with 200 gems. So like, it's if you're willing to put money into the game and support the devs, and you are going to play for thousands of hours, I would imagine this is probably a good idea to buy.
If Carnage is suggesting getting to VIP level 5, because as you get to VIP, it gets you certain bonuses, or like
Right.
you'll get certain things daily as you log in.
The
They have that new daily deals too that requires VIP level 6, but I'm only level 5, so I don't know what the cost of those level 6 daily deals are.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna
You
try
can
to
still
get there
work out the
eventually.
cost even if you don't have it. 'Cause
the
it tells you like the value in gems, and it says how much the discount is, so you can work it out yourself.
I will say also, if I think this was 500 gems to get the dragon armor, which gives
Yeah.
you
it is.
100%
Yes.
gold, 50% souls, and 50% XP. Like 500 gems is nothing. Like totally recommend buying this like right away.
Right.
I'll go back to the VIP level real quick and show you what you get at level 5. Level 5 is actually where I'm working to get up to. I think it was.
Well, look at
Yeah.
now you have extra Bing rewards because you spent actual money on some arcade games.
Yay. Yeah, that I want to get to level 5 to get the VIP chest access, and honestly, I would like to get level 6 because, like, I forget who was just saying it. Woo, maybe
I think facial was maybe?
facial. Oh, okay,
Mhm.
okay, yeah. You get the daily offers, and you can't get the third one until you're level 6. So I would like to get to that, but that's
All right, guys.
a
I'm
lot.
gonna get going.
Okay.
Thank you for all the information. It's much appreciated.
Honestly, that's probably a good a good point to
Yeah.
stop the stream
Thank
anyway.
you, Michelle. You did a great job of digesting the information and pointing out the things that we had missed when we were chatting about it. So
Yes.
thank you.
No
We
trouble.
appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night, everyone, and
Good
thank
night.
you again.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
Anyone have anything else to add or say, real?
I think
just
the
excited
game
to-
is really generous with giving you gems,
Yes.
so you don't really ever have to spend any money. But I don't know. Like I said, I feel like all the money I've spent was because I wanted to. I didn't feel like I had to.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to stay up with Kenny until he gets the 505 achievement
Yeah.
tonight. So
All
Yeah.
right, fine. We'll
I'll
give
stick
it
I-
around too. Even though I'm not watching the stream, I'll stick around.
we'll give it
Yeah.
a shot real quick.
It's kind of like Flappy Goat, you know, that you said you were going to stay up for, and
Yeah, but that pissed me off that
Never
I gave
did.
up on that.
oh, come on. Well, you either do this or Flappy Goat. So
Well,
those are your
we'll,
two
we'll
options
stay up with
tonight.
this.
This is much easier to get than Flappy Goat.
You haven't watched Kenny that long, have you?
Oh, that was so horrible. We'll do. What is? I need
Um,
You
red
got
and green.
this.
I say, does anybody else have any other questions? Because it's getting midnight my time, and yeah, I'm getting a little sleepy here.
Yeah, I'm starting to get sleepy as well, so I'm giving
And I
this
also have-
max
5:05
input
a
of
shot real
information
quick.
for tonight, so
and I also have a glass of half full of vodka that needs to be finished. So I
Well
was
done.
trying to stay coherent for this stream.
Let's see. Egg Thief is working.
You have double egg thief now.
Darn it, I forgot to do a double Egg Thief. Oh well, I have the one.
Don't you love that cod piece?
The what?
cod piece. It's like a Speedo almost, but it's made of leather.
It's like a giant metal thong,
Yeah.
but for the front.
Yep.
Let's see, I need red. See, I'm literally just going to keep doing this.
Just egg thief and only egg thief.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
doing.
only use egg thief. Oh, you want to use greed though, yeah, and then egg thief.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to attack or nothing, and I'm literally just
Nope.
going to let this go until I either lose, win, because I want to make sure that I actually get it. And actually, now that I'm thinking about this will probably be a lot easier now that I have the skeleton key, because the skeleton key is pretty strong.
Yeah, don't use the skeleton key though. Just keep using your egg thief.
Oh, I meant but because of life and armor, so I'll be able to last, just that much longer.
And anybody who's still listening in the AH 101, we're still on the 20,000 telethon. So if you are in the guild, please do claim your seals.
Yes.
I'm working on some PvP to get my seals up some more right now.
And if you're not in the Discord and you have no idea what you're talking about, discord.io/AH101. We have a
Can
Gems of War channel.
Yes, and can you still send a Twitter tweet? I haven't heard you say that in the podcast in forever.
It really has been a long time since I said Twitter tweet. Yeah. You can check us out on the Twitter. You can even send us a Twitter tweet. See, and I just won. Darn it.
No, you didn't win yet. Just keep going. Oh, never mind. I'm 30 seconds behind.
Let's see. Where did I get up to? God, see, this is what pisses me off about this thing.
It's gonna be a long night, Kenny. It's gonna be a
F
long night.
that.
Buckle
See,
in.
I didn't even get any extra progress there. I'm at 67%.
See, and I should probably clarify. We just adding what Kenny said. We have a channel specifically for Gems of War, which has been very active recently. People
Oh my god, it's been so active.
making team suggestions or just answering questions. Usually I answer questions when I'm at work, but I've been busy this past week, so I haven't been answering my pings. But Awu is very quick to answer questions. Kronos will answer questions too, but we're all in there to help each other out regardless of what guild we belong to. So it is a great place to hop in and chat about the game.
Yeah, if you have any questions, someone there can probably help. Like you said, Carnage is there as well. I'm obviously there, Saucy.
Bucky answers a lot of questions too.
I will not answer any questions. I don't know anything.
Okay,
I'm
I
here
take
to
that
ask
back.
the questions. Yeah, I'm 100 levels behind you, Kenny. Okay, so
Oh,
don't.
I thought you were a little bit farther than that. Never mind.
No, don't. I am no resource at this game.
I know a
But you're
decent
in-
amount, but
But you're in the guild. That's a good
I am in the
start.
guild. Yes, yes.
All right.
Like I said, I started this because I was in a boosting session with Mattism and Koosh when it first came out, and Mattism was saying, "Oh, join this. It's really easy achievements, easy completion before the first update." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you just join it. You pop all these achievements, really easy." And I joined it, and then it was update, 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 and then I was like, "I don't even know what the hell's going on in this game anymore." And at that point, I was like, level 100? That's ridiculous. I'm not getting to a level 100. So I put it on the back burner for all this time. I'd go in and play like one game, like a month, and then be like, I'm just spinning my wheels. I don't even know what I'm doing here. And I was like, damn you, Mattism. And then it wasn't until I heard Kenny on the podcast talking about the YouTube. So last week, when I was working overnights, I hopped in, I watched the whole thing, retooled my teams, joined that guild because I kept getting kicked out of guilds for inactivity. So I'm like, all right, you know what? If everyone's doing it, I'll hop back in and contribute a little bit. So.
Oh, that makes me feel happy that the video was actually helpful and got you going and got you back into it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I work weekend overnights, so it's like I don't really have many people to talk to. So it's like, all right, I can watch this at my own pace, pause it, watch it, build my teams. So no, it definitely was very helpful. So.
No, that's really good to hear because like I wasn't quite entirely sure because I feel like I was very like I bumbled my way through it and kind of scattered and a little all over the place as a result to day drinking before I got on that stream with Kenny. So.
Oh no,
I'm not
you
gonna
helped
judge
so
for day
much.
Drinking.
That stream was so helpful. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Like I honestly feel like I've made more progress in the past. I think it's been like a month since we've done it. I feel like I made more progress in the past month than all the time I've spent before.
No, it makes me really it makes me, I guess selfishly, it makes me feel really good to hear that the feedback we've gotten that, hey, wow, this video has actually been really helpful. Like it's gotten me back in the gems. Like I have a clear direction. So, yeah, it's good to hear feedback like that. Before I pursued accounting, I actually have a teaching degree, so I love this kind of stuff. So I really enjoy hearing that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
It's even good that Kenny says you're gonna make this a weekly thing where you're gonna meet and walk him through every single day.
Not weekly. Stop it, Saucy. Do not listen to Saucy.
Yeah, Kenny would be really sick of me if he talked to me more than that.
He loves the
would doubt
attention.
that.
He loves the attention.
I don't see me getting sick of you, but I absolutely cannot do this each week. And then also,
Yeah.
obviously, another thanks to K4. He helped a ton last stream. Between K4 and Sarah, oh my god, so much information. And now Lou on this, it's like I feel like I'm actually getting a decent, really good grasp on this game.
No, I learned more in that one stream than I did the multiple years of trying to, play the basics of this game. And then to hear about the different types of gold teams to build, it was like, all right, I need to redo this completely, redo my teams, and so it was very helpful.
And I was fortunate when I first started playing, at Achievement Fest, I had someone physically there pointing out what all the stuff meant. So I was set on a good path when
that helps.
I left back home.
Yeah, Mattism didn't help me at all. So
that's not a surprise. I also heard he cheats at Gears Pop, so.
Oh, he does. He does. Yeah, he cheats on a lot of things.
Oh, that's just.
But not as much as Fug. Fug cheats the most.
See, I've never actually talked to Matt Tism, so I feel bad for slightly talking trash about him.
No, he's elusive, and it's well deserved to talk trash about him. So not as much as L, but. No.
Well, see, and I can talk trash about Fug because I've actually met him in person, and
I'm sorry. He's old.
I'm also slightly old. Just
yeah, but he's old and creepy though. It's like
Old and creepy.
So he's got that Wisconsin creep, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, And see, in facial, I've known you what, forever.
Pretty much.
Like-
Yeah. I don't know when 360 voice started, but sometime around then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
But-
So, okay, last thing before we end this.
Oh, is this still going?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
going. I haven't canceled this out yet.
I take
I-
back
I-
all those things I said about Mattism and Fug.
I need to
don't
clip that and
I
send it to him.
don't
Hey.
take anything back.
It's gonna be a real diehard fan to have listened this deep into this video,
Right.
Fug's listening.
obviously. But anybody else, if Matt Tism actually makes it to the end of this video and hears this, will be super impressed.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. I guess 2 questions now. Sarah, you're not the one to ask, but at the shop in the clan where you can buy, or in the guild where you can buy different things, that's one per player. Is that per guild, or if I were to go to another guild, would I have the opportunity to buy it again?
Are you talking about the thing for Guild Wars this week?
The guild shop? Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking about?
the guild shop. It says Guild Hero. It's $5, and it's I get an Orb of
Yeah, I
Clans,
remember
10,000 gold, and
Oh.
4 guildmate gifts.
Yes, it buys keys for your guild, which is the equivalent to opening one chest.
So do it,
Oh.
Fug. I mean, do it, Fufu is what she's saying.
So there's somebody in my guild who buys them regularly.
Ah. Eh. I don't
But
Spend that
I
money
don't-
for the guild.
I don't like you
I
people that
don't-
much. Yeah, Carnage just said
Carnage
it.
said never buy those.
That's what I thought. Okay, so last
So
question.
apparently, Doughboy has this time stamped of when I trash talked Matt Tism.
I have 11,000 guild seals. Where do I spend them, and what's the best way to spend them?
Best way
You
to
say
spend the guild sales is when the new mythic troops come around.
Okay. So basically, just buy the guild key chests.
But AH-101 Guild so rarely crosses 20,000 that they might want to take advantage of it this time.
Okay. Well, what am I trying to ask? Well, actually, first of all, that resets on Sunday, right?
Monday.
Monday. So
Monday morning.
So I'll wait till we get to the 20,000 because hopefully we do. What? I assume this is a
Carnage-
Zajan chest. Zajan.
Carnage says don't spend them unless your guild gets to 40k. I think you guys are a long way off from that.
That's. I assume you want to wait just because then you get the best chance of getting the best stuff.
Yes. Yes. Because I think you
Oh,
pulled up
yeah,
that
I see it now.
key- Yeah. Obviously, we're delayed from you.
Right.
Does the guild have minimums? Are you not enforcing?
Oh God, we're not that good yet.
Michelle just set them this week.
You should at least set them to, something simple.
Yeah, Michelle put some minimums in for the guild. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
they are because I'm not in the guild anymore. But she
She's
is
not
starting.
enforcing. Just to keep other people out.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
didn't
and
even
I
know that
think
was a
she
thing.
kicked out some severely inactive people to make room for people who actually are interested in actively playing.
Yeah, so our weekly requirements is 100,000 guild, 1,500 seals, and 150 trophies. So
That's
if I
kinda high for gold for a low level guild.
if I don't meet that, do I just immediately get kicked?
No.
No, she'd have to manually kick you. But
Okay, that's
I don't
what I
think
thought.
she's going to do that.
Because I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, I'm never going to meet that. Okay, now this should be the final question. The guild seals only get spent on the guild chest, right? Like I can't spend them nowhere else.
That's
Right.
correct.
Okay. I think that's enough information for one night. I know, Sarah, you're tired. Oh, Will, I imagine you're tired because it's like 6 a.m.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'm well rested here.
Well, you work nights, so you work nights, and
I'm
you're
just
gonna
waiting.
lie just to get me to do the 505 gems, and I don't want to do
I was
that.
about to ask, did you get it?
No, I did not.
Nope. Nope. I'm waiting and watching.
All right, one more
Yeah, I-
attempt, and then I'm gonna
Oh,
go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. One more
Yeah.
attempt.
So
Put-
Fug,
put-
don't mess. I mean, I keep calling you Fug. Fufu, don't mess this up.
All right, where should I
put
go?
2 egg thieves in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me do that real quick.
And I think Carnage suggested your I can't even pronounce it.
Sparkle sack.
No, he suggested a kingdom and started with a U.
He said Urskaya.
Yes, that one.
So who should I take out for the second egg thief? Greed or skeleton key? Or sparkle sack?
Skeleton key.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, because you're not gonna actually attack them.
Let's see. What's the best way to find this thing? Oh, search bar. Duh.
He also suggested explore 12, but you probably don't have that unlocked, so just pick whatever the highest one is.
Yeah, it might be too difficult for Fufu. I think it might just absolutely wreck his face.
Yeah.
I love this shitting on Fufu. It's so nice.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Hey, he gave me permission to laugh at him on the last one.
I don't recall
Yeah,
that.
he likes the punishment.
So what was use something with a U? Oh, okay, there it is. Yorskaya. It's one of them. So I go to explore or hello.
Yep, we're still
Yeah.
here. Yep,
Oh.
you explore.
Okay.
Only use egg thief and watch the magic happen.
Okay, never mind. I already have an explorer going, so I can't set the difficulty. So let's hope this works. Let's see.
You know it defaults to alphabetical order, and you could have went to E, right?
Yeah, I'm way behind that. Or way ahead of that. I realized I could have did that, but at the same time, I didn't know how many troops I had, so I don't want to sit there and scroll and scroll and scroll. You see, like, my problem with the last attempt that I did is I actually wound up killing the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah,
what I
so
found I've had. a couple
only
times.
use egg thief and don't take this. Yeah, just don't take the skulls. Just egg thief, egg thief,
Right.
egg thief them.
And there's no red and green here. What the hell? Well, this is stupid.
And like Carnage said, and then egg thief.
All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, and actually having 2 egg thieves, yeah, that might actually be the key to doing this. Because there's plenty of times where it's like, oh, I just don't have the mana. It's where egg thief every single turn. Well, now, in theory,
egg thief
I
powers
should.
egg thief.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I never think about having multiple the same troop on my team when team building.
You sound like my HR department now.
Why are there so many skulls? There are so
I
many
will-
skulls in this board. This is stupid.
I will be right back for a tinkle break. Maybe I'll get it by the time I get back.
Doubt it.
Hopefully. Poop. Darn it, dude. Yeah, I just realized I shouldn't have done that. Darn it. Oh wait, I passed it. That's dumb.
Come on, Fufu. Oh.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier with Cedric as well, because you'd be able to destroy the whole board at once instead of like half of it.
Yeah, I think I need that.
What are you missing for the Cedric traits?
Give me 1 sec. Let me take a look.
Because, like Sarah said, that should honestly be like #1 priority right now.
Yeah, that's definitely it. That's definitely my new homework now that all my quests are finished. I need... Oops. I need 15 arcane blade trait stones.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's take a little bit then. Yeah, so you can see those 2 kingdoms. Once you can explore to get a chance at those.
Right. Yeah, in like 20 seconds you'll actually be able to see it. But yeah, I need that. Once I get that, I know I'll be able to get the 505. I'm probably
All right.
not gonna try.
So
for
he
it
didn't
until-
get it then.
No,
Yeah, he failed again.
I'm
Good thing you
probably
didn't
not
hold
gonna
it.
try again until I get Sparkle Sack completely leveled.
No.
No, that won't make a difference.
No, I will, because you'll be able to destroy the whole board with each egg thief instead of just.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah,
some
the
gems.
gold max is higher. Yeah.
So let's say Sparkle Sack dies. Do I still get that 100% bonus gold from battle?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I thought. But
Whole
yeah,
bonuses like that. It's same thing with souls. If you have a soul boosting troop at the end of the match, even if they're dead, they still give their bonus.
okay. Yeah, I need 15 of those stones, so that's gonna be a while before I get that.
Or you could explore them.
If you would shush, I was getting to that. I was gonna say I'm gonna be doing a bunch of explorers to try to get him powered up.
I would say I thought I assigned you that as your homework earlier was to get that team fully
Yes.
traded.
Yes. Well, I mean, as of right now, it isn't. I mean, okay, I don't have Egg Thieves, the last one, but I don't really need that 20% chance to dodge skull damage. Like so Cedric, Egg Thief, and Greed are max level for
Mhm.
what they can be. Greed has all 3 traits. Cedric has his first, and Egg Thief has the first 2. So
Yeah, greed you need its last because to start with the battle with full mana is
Oops.
very helpful.
right.
Yeah, I think you got that earlier, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I had that last time when I had that last time when we were putting it together. I just immediately got that. Or did I? Or did I get that earlier? Oh, and I
You have it
upgraded.
now either way.
Yeah. God, we've been playing. Oh wait, no, never mind. Win 5 challenge battles. New adventure board daily. Yay. Quests, not daily.
Woo, I'm very sorry I forgot to ask you this. Where do you actually live? What country are you in?
Sweden.
Okay.
He's next door neighbors with Waka.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean-
Waka is literally like an hour away from me.
Just down the road from each other. You
Yeah,
know,
if he looks
no
out the
big.
window, he can see Walker waving right now.
Oh, nice.
And
I mean,
Saucy, where are you from?
I go to the same like fast food restaurants as he does.
The great state of Massachusetts.
But there's only like 7 people that live there, huh?
In Massachusetts?
Yeah.
No. You think of Rhode Island. I'm pretty much on the border of Rhode Island and Massachusetts. My
Okay.
wife's from Rhode Island, and I wanted to stay in Mass, and so I convinced her that we'll get as close to her state as possible before
Okay.
actually entering.
So I have only been to Massachusetts for 15 minutes.
Oh,
Uh,
that's 15 minutes of your life, huh?
So we were leaving Vermont on our way back to Michigan, and this
Yeah.
highway took us through Massachusetts for like 15 minutes.
You went through the worst part of Mass. That's Western Mass.
I'm not
That's
sure
like
where I was. I just know we
Yeah.
were leaving Vermont.
You were probably going down into New York, right? So
Yeah, we
you
were
were in the
dipping down.
Berkshires.
Yeah, because we needed to get to
Yeah.
Canada to go home.
Oh. Canada. Okay. Yeah, so you were going through the Berkshires, yeah. Out in jeez, I don't even know what part. That's pretty much, we consider that's like New York, you know. Anything like west of
Or maybe-
Worcester is like country
Hey
to
Thomas,
us.
that trip
so.
we took to Vermont, did we go through Canada on the way back, or we decide to avoid it?
Let's see.
He doesn't remember either.
Yeah, no, you should come to Boston.
But we
I
drove
mean,
through
we're-
Massachusetts for.
That doesn't really count. You got to really go to like Boston area. The history, like the Boston Massacre, you know, the Paul Revere's house.
No, wait, we did go through Canada because they yelled at me about not having my passport signed.
Right.
Yes, we
Wait,
did go
so
through Canada on the way back.
You were in Vermont and you were going to Canada and you went no, because Vermont's north of Massachusetts.
So I live in Michigan,
Yeah.
and we drove through Canada to get to Vermont.
Why'd you go to through Massachusetts?
It dipped us down into Massachusetts for like 15 minutes on
That's-
the way back home.
That's weird.
There was some kind of
Okay,
like
good,
road
it's not just me.
construction detour, or
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta come to PAX East. We'll show you a good time. I've been after Fufu to come. And he always says, "Oh, next year, next year."
It got coroned.
They did get Corona this year. I went this year.
Insert other
It was-
excuse here.
It was the last event before Corona. It was like the last like true gaming event. Everyone was freaking out, and it was in February. Why is PAX in February? And it was the last, hurrah before coronavirus. And like I
How-
was kind of worried about it then. What was that?
I'd say if you all come to Achievement Fest, I would
Yeah.
consider going to PAX East.
No, Achievement Fest is too far out there.
Okay, so Jay Black is asking why I would potentially avoid Canada. So on my way to Vermont, we got stuck behind this asinine snowplow system.
Oh
where
yeah, they
they're-
block all
so-
3 lanes.
Yes, they stagger
Yeah, that's what we do
themselves
it.
so you
Yeah.
can't get around.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's for your benefit. Don't pass the plow. Don't. We have a saying. It says, "Don't crowd the plow," and you stay behind it. That way, they clear all 3 lanes for you. I've seen so many people pass those plows and they spin right out, and the plow drivers you honk at them and you go by them because you're like, "Hey, you idiot." So
Oh, that's right. I know we did go through Canada because on the way back there was a bridge that we crossed that had like a 20-car pileup on it. We were mildly frightened. That's on the way back. Was the pileup?
I just don't. Here, let me pull up a map because I don't understand why you went through Massachusetts to get to Canada because that's all north.
Okay. Before we get into this, I'm gonna cut the stream out there.
No.
This is very important.
Oh
This
my
is
god.
educational now. This is educational.
It's a good time. So I just finished my bounty event.
Yeah,
To
see?
get time to get 6 orbs of growth and be on my way.
Yes. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Check out Achievement Hunting 101. Please subscribe, like, and subscribe. If you're still watching, or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Then go subscribe to Twitch and Mixer, and definitely the podcast. Thank you,
And
Woo.
subs a Twitter tweet.
And send us a Twitter tweet on the Twitter at Achievements101. Thanks, Woo and Sarah, for joining and all the great information.
Yeah, no problem.
And Carnage.
And Carnage. And thanks, Saucy, for hijacking the stream and messing with everyone.
You're very welcome. What part of Vermont were you at?
Okay. I'll see you. I'm ending the stream.